whatever the you want, regardless of reality. Trump knows this better than anyone.
Now, I would have testified. I wanted to testify. The theory is you never testify, because as soon as you testify, anybody, if it were George Washington, don't testify, because they'll get you on something that you said slightly wrong, and then they sue you for perjury. You would have said something out of whack, like it was a beautiful sunny day and it was actually raining out.
Yes, our jails in America are filled with incompetent weathermen. I'm telling you, officer, I thought there would be thunder snow. The 20% is still a chance. Don't take me away. This is why the law and order right hates court procedures when applied to them. Courts are the last remaining guardrail that has a standard of evidentiary presentation. It is the last place where you have to prove what you say, and you...
Is Hillary Duff saying don't do that?
This is our iconic Pride Month gay video that we watch.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Love is all you need. You've never seen this before? Heterosexuality is a sin. This is like reverse world, bizarro world.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Oh, you've never seen this?
No.
Bro, that's crazy. That is crazy.
I'm new to this whole gay thing.
What the why'd you say it like that? You fucking
Sorry,
freak. This is like gay theory. I'm teaching you gay theory right now. I'm giving you a gay education. Is Austin even gay?
I need to go buy an outfit. I'm gonna buy just a white, like a simple one.
Some people say that they are born the way they are destined to be.
Karen, it is a beautiful, healthy baby girl.
Loadout
Education
updated.
was
They're
right
on
there.
Zone
That
C.
was true.
Secure those capture zones, Agent. Zone compromised.
That's it. Good. Problem with this is that I am the best, most normal parents anyone could have asked. She let me sleep today. She let me sleep for 2 hours.
Wait, I love this.
Oh, not
Happy birthday, Ashley.
You were really the picture-perfect all-American.
Friendlies on Zone C. Heads up. I'm detecting our sonar tech in enemy hands.
Uh-oh.
Zone secured.
Uncle's wedding. Could I have a sinking feeling?
Zone contested.
Sometimes I wonder that if I had just ignored all that everything made me feel,
Tango dispatch.
turned out
Disgusting.
That's crazy.
That's a breeder, baby.
That's a
hetero. This is exactly, you know what's crazy? This is how
Secure
America
all
is
the
in
zones.
2024.
This
Actually,
should be
right now.
familiar territory.
Like this is how
Zone
this is
C
what
is
it feels
falling.
like to be a straight man in America right now. You wouldn't know. You're one of the blessed ones. Okay.
No, we have actually like
Allies on B.
advantages to being a homosexual. It's crazy.
It's like this is current day. This is a documentary about what it's like. Just a reminder, there's TOS at the end, suicide scene. That's fine, I think. It's like not real suicide.
Capture zone secured. Zone compromised. Zone B is vulnerable.
Gathering intel.
They can run, but hiding might be a problem.
You want to play now? I don't know. Want to play house? How about Ashley and I be the mommies and you boys be our kids?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Real fair. Well, that's what mommies do. Hey, how about we be the daddies and you do whatever we say? Yeah. No way. I got an idea.
I don't get it. It's just people wearing Speedos. Like, what's the problem?
Then why can't you just be
These guys are these F words are the reason why people are homophobic. Like, y'all can't just be gay and act normal. Like, they're not even doing anything. They're just fucking as normal.
And
being in Speedos.
Like they're in London, man. Have
you're a
you
pro.
seen London?
You'll bounce
Like what
back.
the fuck? They're just in Speedos.
Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. The OP is LGBTQ plus. This self-hatred is ridiculous. We don't need to capitulate to anybody for us to
We're
be
securing
accepted.
Zone A.
Like this isn't even kink discourse at
going
this
for
point.
B.
Like I know that like kink at Pride is like a major point that
Zone
everybody loves
contested.
talking about every fucking month of June. But this is literally just like it's just a bunch of London homos wearing
Let
fucking
them fucking
Speedos.
be. They've all starved themselves and been on a liquid diet for the last 24 days to prepare for their fucking pride moment. Let them have their time in Speedos.
You know
Okay?
this person is an American homosexual. Okay? Yeah, you want to know why? Because Americans across the board, gay, straight, are just so fucking weird about people showing like more than their calves.
Rogue
Okay?
Echelon agent activated sonar
It's
goggles.
just like a classic
Zone B is
American
vulnerable.
brain rot moment right here to be like, nope, not allowed. Not allowed, dude. No shot. This is literally the average beach in Europe, except way skinnier, okay? Like, have you been to a beach in Europe? Have you been to a fucking beach in Europe? Go to any place that
Zone compromised. We're securing B.
takes over during the fucking months of summer, and you will see every goddamn retired British gammon and also young Brits dressed exactly
This
like
will be a
this.
fun report to write.
Okay?
I bet you can find a British royal dressed like this.
It's just like
In a
this is
fucking
literally
Speedo.
yeah, they're wearing Speedos, man. It's just like that's
It's
it.
English. It's British. This is British culture.
Dude, you go to any Mediterranean beaches, Speedo City. Yeah, exactly. I was in Australia. Everybody had budgie smugglers on. Every single person. The problem isn't the Speedos. It's the shower and socks. What do you mean? Young gays are obsessed with not being the bad gays, i.e. not being ashamed. It just doesn't, like, there's nothing wrong with this. Like, obviously, there is the kink at,
Also,
there's the kink at Pride
hold on.
discourse, which is very different than what this is.
can
okay?
we bring up fucking naked bike rides all around the fucking country?
Yeah,
Like,
that's just
nobody's
not
saying
even,
shit about anything.
no, they're saying it. They're
What are they
literally
saying?
going,
Are they saying it's gay?
yes, bro. That's the
Oh my
funniest
God.
part. They
Oh my
always,
God. Wait, are they?
all these fucking
What is
places.
being naked a gay thing? What
All
the fuck
these
is that?
fucking places, like,
Did the
you know,
gays invent
Seattle,
nudity?
Portland, all
Yeah.
these fucking places have like old ass men and women dropping trow and doing gay bike rides. Okay. And it has nothing to do with like homosexuality whatsoever. But people will literally always point to that and go, see, they're doing it again. They're doing Pride. And it's like, no, man, they're just weird. Okay. I'm sorry. It's weird. I don't like the you know, it's fine. The budgie smugglers and the Speedos, perfectly valid, permissible, whatever. Okay. Especially if you're European, it's your culture. Go off. Saying this right now in the month of June, when we literally had this exact same conversation last time you were on the stream, like 2 weeks ago,
And I said it
where
was
you
weird.
and I were in
Loadout
alignment
updated.
about
Capture
how
zone
weird
secured.
it is.
Your mission
We
is to
literally
secure the
went on a
capture zone.
fucking tangent about like old people in the locker rooms.
I clipped that and put it on my TikTok.
Yeah, posting your fucking ball sack right up in your face, got no goddamn reason.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's Pride Month, so it's time to dunk.
Yeah. Anyway, it always grows me out when there's like line bikes in the Solstice Parade. I don't know what it is. I think it's weird because you're like getting butt naked, sweating on a bike seat sounds unbearable. No, that's right. It's just weird.
I'm detecting hostiles on Zone
Nudism is
C.
great. Naked bike ride is tame. No, I'm not with that. Okay, you know, I mean, people do it in their own fucking. If you do it in your own,
in your own home.
No, it's not even that. Like a nudist
Also,
colony,
an
nude
enemy
beach,
hand.
whatever.
Take
If
them
you
back.
want to fucking close off the streets and do a naked bike ride, go off. It's
capturing
still gonna
Zone
be weird
C.
to me. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You're not going to convince me that it's like a
Friendly
normal,
going for
free,
Zone B.
liberating thing to do. I don't like it. I think it's gross.
Zone contested.
Bodies are gross. It's unbelievable.
It's never the people I want to see nude, bro. I'm sorry.
I understand
And I
what
get
you're
it. It's not the point of nudism. Nudism is like all about fucking not you know, it's not about sexual. It's not about like looking hot.
Bodies are
Hostiles hold all
beautiful,
capture
especially
zones.
female bodies.
Start making some noise, Agent. Friendlies capturing Zone A.
And women don't owe you shit, for the record. Okay.
For me,
Friendly securing
okay,
A.
I'm telling you, it's rarely ever the entire city of
Capture
Portland,
zone
Kansas
secured.
is yeah, good luck. I'm not
Heads
going
up.
to
I'm detecting
that, okay?
our sonar
Yeah,
tech
it's
in
never
enemy
who I
hands.
would want to see.
I'm agree with him. Usually the people you see naked are never the ones you want to see.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's just
I'm
like,
with you.
bro,
Okay.
oh God, it's like
I'm
your
with
red
you.
flags are showing. Okay, well, you know, it's a red flag.
Show me your
yeah,
armpit.
fucking
Gather
time, you know.
There you go. It's like the Men in Black thing. You just
This is your most conservative take. I'm 100% conservative on this.
Grenade!
Excuse me, sir, but you've always been a free to titty advocate? No, that's not.
only the hot titties.
No,
Going for B.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about titties.
I'm just riling you
No,
up.
I don't give a shit about titties. I'm talking about fucking dicks.
Make one of those chat live.
I am talking specifically about down here.
Missions in jeopardy, Agent.
There's
I get it.
like this is the area where we just, you know, take stuff out of our body. This is like you're evacuating your bowels and shit. Like I don't want
This
to
is a
see
war
it.
zone compromised.
Same with vaginas.
Evacuating your bowels.
Like it's just nudism is okay only as long as you're hot. Yeah, I'm sorry that I'm being honest. Okay, being radically honest. In any case, yeah, it's just like I said. It's you know, when you go beyond freeing the titty, I'm like, okay, well, you know, maybe I'm not ready for it. Okay? Yes, bro. Do you need to leave soon?
I have to go. I have to get the outfit.
I'm gonna talk about Israel Palestine the moment
talk
that your
about-
ass
talk
leaves.
about Israel Palestine and then
No, but you have to sit here and watch
Friendlies
this.
on
Bro,
B.
this is for you. This is education. No,
I'll start filling out the mission failure report. Get a head start on the booking phase.
Informative.
I already know what happens.
Rogue Echelon agent activated
You don't know
sonar
what
goggles.
happens.
Yes, I do.
Well, we spoiled it.
You spoiled the end of it.
That's crazy.
I have to go shopping. I have to look. Flash out!
It's 20 minutes. You have to bro.
It's 20 Hassan minutes. You have to sit. I'm leaving for the next 4 hours.
You have
20
to
minutes.
sit your gay ass down and listen. Okay?
I have to pee.
You need to learn about this shit.
Don't make this a habit, Agent.
Am not. R2. Am not. R2. Come on, David. We don't play readers. Everyone, that you're a disgusting reader.
I tried really hard just to be normal after that.
Romeo and Julio.
Hey guys, you did such a great job in the suicide scene today. It made me cry. Thanks, I thought it went pretty well too. I wish Julia Sparks for a girl. Ashley likes boys. 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 Ashley likes.
Wait, that shit kind of happens, I think, anyway.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, this is just the real world in 2024. This is like triggering for me to watch as a straight man.
Yeah, no. Is this how it is? This what happened to you?
So
Yeah.
beautiful. Kiss me.
Ian, coming?
Ashley, did you tell your mom that you got cast in the school play?
I like the guy who's like, if it's bad to be straight, then how do all these kids exist? Fucking own them. Own
Dude.
those fraudulent charlatans,
So
chatter.
fucking based.
School play? I thought we decided you were trying out for the football team.
It didn't make the team.
What? After all the coaching I paid for?
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm just not coordinated.
But you're coordinated enough to act? Isn't that for boys?
No, it's for girls too. We're doing Romeo and Juliet. I'm playing the nurse.
Romeo and Juliet?
Isn't it, honey?
What?
Did you know that Shakespeare wrote it for his true love, Duchess of Southampton?
Duchess. Shakespeare was a heterosexual?
Yeah. Well, he loved her so much, but he couldn't divorce his
By the way,
husband.
this is how my household will be in the
So he
future.
wrote Romeo and Juliet to express his love.
I'm not even kidding.
I'm triggered.
Oh, Mr. Thompson,
Who's he?
the drama teacher.
Need to make a call to that school.
Classic. The drama teacher is doing cishet propaganda. It's fucked up.
And did you see who moved in down the street? No.
Domination. This off's a bit roughish for the
gross.
Echelon playbook, but I'm sure you'll manage.
Get that shit out of here, bro. Keep that shit in your fucking bedrooms. You know what I mean? It's disgusting.
1. Secure those capture zones, Agent. Friendlies capturing Zone A.
Well, that is really blatant. Actually, when you keep her going around the other way to school.
Zone secured. Friendlies going for Zone B.
I don't care. I'm not gonna have you exposed to that perverted lifestyle, men and women living together.
Hell yeah,
It's a
tell
sin.
it,
It makes
girl.
me sick just thinking about it.
It does me
So
too.
Revolting. Honey, can I get some more bread?
My household when I grow up.
In light of recent events in the Netherlands, where heterosexual marriage is now allowed, Pope Joan VII wants to remind Catholics all over the world that the Church has not changed its stance on this issue. Her Holiness reminds us, and I quote, "It is a sin
Her
for a
Holiness.
man to lust after a woman. It is an abomination for a woman to lie with a man outside of the breeding season. Any such person harboring lust in their heart for the opposite
Dude,
sex."
this, by the way, is so perfectly wrapped up in its lore that I don't think that there should be a like this big of an intelligence gap between two individuals having a conversation. Again, another fucking achievement for modern medicine. And in the case of Marjorie Taylor Greene, maybe an L for modern medicine. I refuse, man. I refuse. All right, they're doing COVID conspiracy theories this morning by somehow pinning the pandemic on Fauci, the one guy in Trump's orbit who was sane and rational throughout the ordeal. They don't want to have a reality-based conversation about who really botched things and who got us out of the worst of it.
I've got a lot of questions.
Okay. Can I finish the answer to?
You were the director of the NIAID for more than 3 decades.
And infectious diseases for more than 3 decades, is that right?
38 plus years.
38 years, okay. And I assume that you've never been accused of trying to start a disease before, is that right?
That is correct.
You have devoted your life to fighting infectious diseases for the American people, is that right?
That is correct.
Domination. I'll tag 3 objectives on your OPSAT. Assault them at your discretion.
About your service to America.
Yeah, I mean,
3.
not an accident that like the COVID vaccines were a scientific
Your mission
marvel,
is to
an
secure the capture
international
zones.
scientific community collaborative
Friendlies
effort,
capturing Zone A.
and brought about in phenomenal time. And the mRNA vaccine research is also most likely going to yield incredibly positive results for severe life-altering, life-ending diseases. And it is, of course, because of that reason that every dumb fuck is chirping against it. Because they're stupid. I don't know what else to say about it, other than the fact that you are just afraid of things you don't understand, like a goddamn caveman, like an ape. Okay? Like, that's it. And I can't believe that I had this argument over and over again for like years, and now we're back in the pocket of like 2021. It's mind-boggling to me that this is what's happening. It's crazy.
This is a rough off.
Oh my God.
But you're a pro. You'll bounce back.
We're desperately trying to kill ourselves, I think. That's what's going on. This is the irony. That so many of these people would be too dumb to survive if modern medicine didn't exist. And now all of those people are becoming.
Can anyone provide first aid? Gathering intel.
Okay. I'm joking, but also kind of not joking in the sense that like the very same people that are surviving due to modern medicine are turning into like this very loud majority of people that are like, actually modern medicine is bad. What the fuck? Oh my God.
Grenades away.
What is the conspiracy theory? Is the kind of the film with particular subject like a lab leak of president of the CIA like Jason Bourne? Oh, here, let's hear what Ms. Dangle.
In a way that should be unacceptable to
Friendly's
all
going for Zone B.
Americans. Dr. Fauci, you and I have known each other for a long time, and I'm not even going to admit it.
Revealing enemies.
But during that time, I've seen your commitment.
Get in there,
not just
Debbie.
to science,
Get in there,
but to
Deborah.
advancing the greater good. And I know that this isn't a topic you enjoy discussing, and I'm sorry I'm going to have to ask you about it. But I think the American people need to know.
Anyway, she's fucking talking about the death threats that he's receiving.
At the White House.
Here's another Deborah. This time an evil Deborah. Okay. Fauci, you said about 4 or 5 things that were just not true.
You, sir, did you cite this article at the White House because the NIH director
Revealing
We go
enemies.
from good Deborah to bad Deborah.
asked you to suppress the lab leak theory?
I did not
Capture
do
zone
that in
contested.
response to anybody's suggestion to suppress anything. It was in response to a question that someone asked at the podium, and I did.
It's so weird that the stop hitting yourself bully strategy is like universally recognized as some silly bullshit. And yet seemingly
Revealing
this
enemies.
is Israel's only
Friendly's
counter
going for
narrative.
Zone B. Target down. Was that revenge?
We're learning more about those 4 hostages that mentioned by Raf, Nadav,
Zone
Papawell,
contested.
Amiram Metzger, and Hayam Perry, all kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. Their bodies still are in Gaza. Nadav, Papawell.
What happened to these guys? Like, how'd they die? I just don't know. Hostages killed, it says, but who killed them? Who could it be? Do we have any idea? Who could it be? Who could have been responsible for the death of these 4 hostages?
Bell was 51 years old. He had been hiding, kidnapped with his mother from their home. His mother, Hannah Perry, was among those released in November.
Vaccinated? Well, we know that.
Allies
they
on
might be vaccinated. I was going to say that there's probably no additional vaccines because Israel does deny vaccinations or did deny vaccinations in the early stages of COVID to the Palestinian population. So there was that.
Papawell was seen just a few weeks ago in Hamas propaganda.
So they probably didn't get extra vaccines.
Reports described him as a sensitive and quiet individual and gifted computer expert. Cooper was 84 years old, one of the founders of Oz. He was an economist, poet, and composer. He leaves behind his wife, 3 children, and 9 grandchildren. 80-year-old.
Yeah, the Hamas actually released a statement saying they lost contact with the group responsible for 3 of these guys, and they presumed they were killed in Israeli airstrikes. Yeah.
I am Perry.
Revealing enemies.
Hostiles are winning, agent.
Come on, brother. Come on. Yes, only you deserve the top of the hour ad break.
Secure all the
this
zones.
is like a good
This should
debate,
be familiar
okay?
territory.
You deserve the top of the hour ad break, and maybe more than that. You deserve to watch a permanent ad break. We're thinking that that's a solid bait at the top of the hour.
Allies on
That's my greatest achievement. Get better achievements. Get better baits. Okay? Because at the top of the hour, 3-minute hour is coming for you regardless. You know why I want to see those ads?
Can
all you
anyone
do is
provide
subscribe.
first aid?
For $5 or free with Prime by connecting on the Prime account. It's going to be $6 soon. Get in before it turns into $6.
Don't be compromised.
3-minute ad break now.
Peace, art, and cinema. Perry was a teacher and the founder of the Near Oz Art Gallery. He leaves behind a wife, 5 children, and 13 grandchildren. And Yoram Metzger was known for his storytelling and his humor. He helped to establish the Near Oz Winery. Metzger was 80 years old. Join us now from Israel.
Audio was respond to hate comments and ignore comments talking about current issues. Wait, what? Chatter, you might be new here. I suspect you probably are, and you don't know. Those chatters are saying silly things deliberately, especially when they're like long-term community members. So I react to them so they can be like, so they can bait me into reading their comments, and then they serve the top of the hour ad break. It's just like a little fun little game that we try to play here. Keep things interesting. That's it. For the record, I do want to say something. Okay. Obviously, I mean, this is horrible, right? This is horrible. It's horrifying. It's incredibly sad. I've never heard a single fraction of the coverage afforded to the humanity of the Palestinian victims. Okay? I'm not saying it's a bad thing that they're doing this, obviously, for the Israeli hostages, but it is crazy. And it is a testament to our supremacist thinking and our attitudes. Like, they are humans. Palestinian victims of Israeli bombing campaigns are not. These guys are Israeli victims of Israel's bombing campaigns. So they're humans. We're going to talk about how tragic it is that they died. We're going to talk about the life that they lived. We're going to talk about the achievements that they had.
You might still pull
and they
this out
do
in the
deserve
end, but
to have their humanity recognized.
I don't think
but
so.
there's never any such recognition of the humanity and the life of the Palestinians that are getting ruthlessly slaughtered every day. Think about it. This is four victims of the Israeli bombing campaign that are Israeli themselves. Four victims of the Israeli bombing campaign. Israel's killed 10x that number of civilians in the past 2 days. Think about that. Do you think that those Palestinian civilians that were ruthlessly slaughtered by Israel did not have dreams, achievements, accomplishments, their life cut short? In many instances, for the Palestinians, you can't really build a long history of affairs. Why? Because their lives are cut short. The majority of the Palestinian population is children under the age of 18. Almost the majority, sorry, not the majority. But they have dreams, they have aspirations, they have goals, and if given the opportunity, they would also have a shit ton of accomplishments as well.
Was 80 years old. Join us now, former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for being with us today. I want to start with the hostages and just the gut-wrenching news that 4 more hostages are, through intelligence, the IDF believes to be dead. Still, their bodies, their remains are in Gaza. And 2 80-year-olds, an 84-year-old, one of them protecting his family in a safe room when he was ripped away from his family. Some of their wives were also taken hostages but released. But now we know they are dead. What can you say about the continued effort, the very difficult effort, obviously, to get the hostages home?
Well, there's 120 hostages, of which, unfortunately, they're...
Metzger, Cooper, and Perry were all reported dead in Hamas Telegram channels. It was unanimously ignored in Israeli media because something psychological terror. Yeah. Hostages, when they die, oftentimes, when they're killed by Israel, oftentimes doesn't get a lot of reporting in Israeli media because it hurts the Israeli morale, the collective morale, because they want unconditional support for the war efforts, right? So when you find out that like your war efforts are actually contributing to the demise of the hostages that you claim that you care about, that you claim that you want to protect and extract out of Gaza, all of a sudden that kind of puts a hurdle in front of you. I don't get it. Why do people defend Israel? What do they gain? I mean, any number of different reasons. Blind loyalty, brainwashing from an early age, wanting to be a contrarian debate mercenary, money. You know, there are a million different reasons.
There's 41 confirmed...
Yeah, Islamophobia, loving fascism. Honestly, that's another one.
Dead or to be murdered by Hamas. We're dealing with the most genocidal terror jihadist organization on earth, and they, you know, are.
They're the most genocidal terrorist jihadist organization on earth. Like literally, no one comes near it, dude. It's just Hamas. They are the worst guys. In a sea of bad guys, they are the worst guys. Trust me, okay? Trust me, bro. Yeah.
Cynical. Will execute our people, and the bottom line is that we can't allow Hamas.
I love that he's like cynically implying that Hamas actually killed these
for the
guys.
Echelon playbook,
yeah,
but I'm
dude,
sure you'll manage.
They're just murking their only leverage, their only bargaining chip. They're just executing them for fun.
Secure those capture zones, agent.
Sure, bud. Romania raid, Bayar. Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream, brother.
Capturing zone A.
Nobody knows who could have killed these guys. Nobody knows who could have killed these Israeli hostages. Actually, it's probably Hamas. Hamas killed them. Hamas killed their own hostages. It's their only leverage, dude. What are you talking about? Why the fuck would they kill their only leverage, especially off camera? That's the other part. Because if you take take a hostage, if you go through the initiative and you take a hostage, there are instances where you might kill them to be like, see, we're serious. We mean business. We're going to execute a hostage for every hour that you don't actually like let aid in or something like that. Okay? That's why I've said since October 7th, if you do not see a hostage get killed, okay, if you do not see a hostage get killed by a Hamas militant or a Palestinian Islamic Jihad guy, you know for a fact, if they're dead, if Israel recognizes them as dead, you know Israel killed them. Okay? There's just no way. But then they would have said that because that is also part of the leverage. What do you mean?
Stand. We can't have them exist at the end of this.
Every single hostage that has come out of Gaza, that has been extracted out of Gaza in the ceasefire periods, have openly, basically with regular frequency admitted that they took every care and consideration they can to protect the hostages. Sometimes literally putting their bodies on top of mattresses when Israel was bombing the buildings the hostages were in. Because, and it makes sense, it's perfectly rational for them to do so, their goal is to not lose their bargaining chip. Their goal is to not lose their leverage. Of course they're going to protect them.
Even in this latest ceasefire proposal Israel has said, we'll stop shooting if you release the hostages. So, do you have any hope that Hamas would listen to that?
I think the only way to release the hostages is if Yahya Sinwar, the commander of Hamas and the leadership of Hamas, know that their hours are over and that we're minutes away from killing them and destroying that leadership. And then the deal needs to be, we will not kill you, we'll allow you to get on a boat and get out of Gaza if you release the hostages. I think the half-hearted efforts or conducting of the war right now by the Israeli government coupled with the American administration slowing down IDF all the time, I think that is self-defeating because the quicker, the faster we move in, the quicker we'll have a deal.
When you say half-hearted, you have said we should have been talking about the IDF
on the
when I
scope
say
in Zone
we
B.
should have been inside Rafah months ago.
That's right. I think there's way too much talk. We're going to do Rafah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Just do it. Just do it. We can destroy Hamas.
I love having this conversation on a news program where the chyron originally was 4 Israeli hostages found dead. He's like, yeah, the thing that killed those 4 Israeli hostages, we should be doing more of it, actually. Sick, man. Sick.
And we can make that one offer to them. We will allow you to live, but expel you from Gaza if you release the hostages. Right now, Yahya Sinwar is playing a cat and mouse tactic with us, just biding time, because the overall strategy right now of Iran, of Hamas, of Hezbollah, is to exhaust Israel. Just last night, Hezbollah shot dozens and dozens of rockets on
Gathering
Galilee.
intel.
The Galilee.
Hezbollah, Yahya Sinwar, Hamas, Hezbollah. It's not a fake Arab accent. I think it's just deliberately said like that when it's not. That's not what it is. Yeah, because he's doing that shit on purpose because he says his H's normally when he's talking. It's so cringe. Exactly. Like, he's doing that deliberately. That's not Arabic, by the way.
Burning. Almost 100,000 people have been evacuated from their homes. Imagine if in El Paso, Texas, there were 100,000 people.
Is it not an Arabic accent? No, bro. What the? No, of course not an Arabic accent. It's Hamas. Hamas. Hezbollah. Okay? Hezbollah.
Don't be compromised.
But notice how he said 100. It's the same ha sound that he's capable of saying for Hamas. The reason why they say Hamas is because he's just like, you know, I guess in his own little way, disrespecting
Maintain
it.
these tactics.
Biden is expected to re-enter politics in the next election, potentially together with Yossi
Take
Cohen
the
and
zone,
Lieberman or
keep the zone.
Saar.
You know the
He's
mission.
been sitting it out and he's doing Hosper this past year or two. Also, it's not an Arabic accent. He's saying it like you say it in Hebrew for some reason. Yeah. Well, for some reason.
Living now 8 months in hotels or motels because their homes are burning. That's what we're facing. We have no choice. We have to win.
Joe has a question for you, Mr. Prime Minister. Joe?
Yeah, Mr. Prime Minister, what's been your response? What's your reaction to the families of hostages saying the Netanyahu government had...
No, he's not doing that on purpose. He just scanned that letter even though it existed. What are you talking about? He said 100. If you can say 100, you can say, and you can say hotel, you can say Hamas. The reason why he's doing it is deliberate.
Hasn't done enough to focus on bringing those hostages home.
Zone contested. You know, when I give interviews abroad, I typically criticize my own government. I think that the efforts have been feeble in terms of focusing on Yichus and war. You can't conduct a war turning it on and off like a light switch. I was a soldier, I was a commander.
Haven't you noticed when he says Yahya Sinwar, he says Yahya Sinwar, Hezbollah. It's just a silly thing. Yeah, it's just a silly thing. It's a silly way to be like, haha, see? I'm undermining them.
If we just have several weeks to go in with all the force necessary and tell you...
Chatters who are not ESL, not understanding that, like, if there are certain sounds you can't say it across the board. If there are certain sounds that you have a hard time with, you will always have a hard time with it. Like, for example, I give you my example from my own personal experience. You guys make fun of me all the time for it when I f it up, okay? As an ESL, Turkish is my first language. We do not have the sound of W, okay? So sometimes I f it up and I will say vetting instead of wedding, right? So that is like across the board an issue that I have. I work hard to make sure that I don't have that issue, but sometimes it still slips and people make fun of me for it. Now here's the thing. He is consistently saying the H sound or English words and every other word. But when it comes to talking about Arab shit, he uses it with the hla.
The only way we live is if you raise a white flag and release the hostages, we can get this done.
Team's going for B.
Keep on wavering, vacillating on this. This is not how you can bring results.
So it's your opinion that actually a full-scale invasion of Rafah...
Zone compromised.
Yes, obviously there's no guarantee here. It's a heart-wrenching situation. I think that the current approach of thinking that we can reach this amazing deal where all the hostages will be released, I think it's naive. And it means that you don't understand what we're dealing with. And the only way that we get results is if they understand their time is out. And I want to say one last thing. We sealed the corridor called the Rafah corridor that basically is the border between...
What happened? Come on, Joe. He's shitting on your boy. He's shitting on your boy, Joe. Come on, defend him, bitch. He's conflicted. He's at odds. On the one hand, he loves dick riding Biden. He knows Biden watches him in his program. On the other hand, he loves dick riding Israel. Who has the higher point of authority here? Is it your undying loyalty to the Zionist project, or is it your undying loyalty to the most important person watching your show?
Between Sinai and Gaza, which means that from about a week ago, Hamas can no longer replenish its arms, so time is running out for them. People are not aware of this. So if we just follow through, I think we can get the best results possible.
Time is running out for them.
Let's talk about
as in he's openly admitting that he's killing, like time is running out for the Palestinians, bitch. That's what you're talking about. He's talking about the Palestinian civilians that no longer have access to humanitarian aid because they deliberately shut off the Rafah crossing. And literally took it over from the Egyptian side, by the way, which is ridiculous. Bullshit.
The, quote, destruction of Hamas, a phrase that's been thrown around a good bit. Is that the killing of all of Hamas leaders, or is that the expulsion of Hamas from Gaza as an effective governing force? Because I believe the Biden plan does say that part of that plan expels Hamas from Gaza as a governing force?
The latter. What I would envision is the leadership of Hamas, either we take them out and kill them as we've done to several, Or similar to Beirut of 1982, we get them on a ship, several thousand of the leadership of Hamas, get them out, and then we can begin the rebuilding of a new Gaza and build a new future for everyone.
So, Mr. Prime Minister, let's talk about this deal that President Biden unveiled publicly on Friday. He framed it as the Israeli deal. This is something that he said the government had agreed to, but we heard from Prime Minister Netanyahu say, well, no, not quite. Can you explain the disconnect?
Well, there is a degree of disconnect. The bottom line, though, I think it's moot, because I don't think there is a deal. I think it's an illusion. I don't think Yehia Sinwar will release the hostages. He might release several of them to dangle.
Bro said Yehia Sinwar.
And bide his time, but he's playing around with us. There's no reason to
Loadout updated. All zones in enemy hands. Take them back. Your mission is to secure the capture zone.
His death coming.
So U.S. officials say, though, they're saying that part of the divide here was the agreement that the Israeli military would withdraw from Gaza. Is that something that the government would consider?
Team capturing Zone C.
I read the press and I heard
Friendlies going for Zone B.
That sort of thing.
Capture zone contested.
We have to retain the Rafah corridor.
Friendlies capturing Zone A.
Corridor. Otherwise, what we'll see is a very rapid rebuilding of Hamas, and we'll see another October 7th, perhaps in 2025 or 2026.
Zone secured.
And they won't release
Capture Zone A is at risk.
They may release a few hostages. They've got 120 of them.
Wait, I don't get it. So the deal is bullshit then? Huh. That's odd. I thought it was the Israeli deal.
Hostiles
it's
on
funny
the scope in Zone
the way
B.
you talk here when your main source is Al Jazeera, the most one-sided news, letting Hamas leave without harming them, and he's not part of the Israel government, so whatever he just says doesn't mean anything. This is how we say Hamas. This is how it sounds when Israeli people speak. You just look too much into it instead of understanding his point. He's not a vision leader of Israel at the moment. He was prime minister. Bitch, I know who Naftali Bennett is, okay? He can suck my dick, and so can you, for the record. Yeah. The beautiful, wonderful, shining beacon of democracy, Israel, has brought forward yet another, I suspect, maybe liberal Zionist chatter in here. You can't see Al Jazeera, so you should be thanking me that I'm showing you Al Jazeera.
Zone B is
because you're
vulnerable.
beautiful, wonderful, censorious democracy, shining beacon of light and prosperity in not only the Middle East, but on the entire planet, as a matter of fact, decided to arbitrarily ban Al Jazeera. So there you go. I'm glad that you're here. Hopefully we can convert you just like many other Israelis that are in here that have either already been anti-Zionist or became anti-Zionist after this coverage. So pay attention. Instead of immediately going, I can't believe you're biased, you're showing Al Jazeera. While I'm literally listening to Naftali Bennett on MSNBC. I show all sides of this conversation. I look at Israeli news sources all the time too.
All the hostages. No way, unless the seas tanks come over, that's the only option that'll bring that result. I know this guy.
That's the right
Yes, and the leverage is it. Exactly, but the leverage we need to create is imminent and on his life and the lives of leadership. And it's not if we just follow through.
I think we all
and stop
see where this is heading. Time to think about extraction. Tango dispatch.
Many years, we can do this. This is not the most complicated thing on earth. And by the way, we're doing it with very low civilian casualties right now. We managed to move about 1 million.
That is insane, bro. 36,000, come on. Someone has to be like, really? That's insane. Where's the chatter go? Where's the news? Where's the chatter go? For the record, I live in Israel, but I don't follow the news. Every side is one-sided. If you trust one side and talk shit about the other side, this is biased. Yes, brother. I'm not a Zionist. Oh, okay, hell yeah. Okay, well, listen to me. I am biased. The difference is every side is biased. I at least tell you what my biases are. That's number one. So you should be grateful for that instead of chirping about it. Secondly, of course I'm biased. If you're not a Zionist, you should understand that better than anybody else, okay? If you're someone living in Israel who is not a Zionist, who's saying they're not a Zionist, you should understand that better than anybody else. For my fellow Israeli chatter, look at this irrelevant politics polling at 32 seats in a right party with Zahar and Cohen. Yeah, listen. My point is, of course I'm biased. Israel's an apartheid state. Israel is doing an ethnic cleansing campaign in Gaza. So yeah, my biases are I'm anti-genocide and anti-apartheid state. Now, if you disagree with Israel being an apartheid state, or if you disagree with Israel doing ethnic cleansing, then yeah, you're going to disagree with the things I'm saying. But yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. Having a bias against genocide is pretty reasonable, I think.
Million citizens away from harm's way. Contrary to what was being told us that we can't do it, it would take months. It took about 10 days.
Despite your best efforts to spare civilians, as you know, Hamas uses civilians as human shields. We know all that. Just last week, there was the attack on a tent camp, an explosion that ensued. 45 people were killed in grisly pictures. As a commander, should more care be taken, as someone who was a commander, more care be taken to avoid the civilian casualties on the merits of not killing women and children, of course, but also the way it turns public opinion against Israel?
Well, I want to correct you. We did not attack the tent camp.
Wait, bro. This guy ate his dick so hard, and even then he was like, no, that's not good enough. But he literally was like, hey, you know, but like Israel kind of looks bad when they kill 40 plus women and children, like when they char them, when they murder them in cold blood, even though it's perfectly valid and perfectly permissible for them to do so. And I love it when they do it. Other people sometimes do think like, oh man, it's not so great. And he's like, no, we didn't do that.
We attacked and took out 2 leaders with a very precision weapon.
But it killed 45
No,
other
it
people.
did not kill. What happened was those people were hiding within ammunition, and that ammunition that Hamas cynically placed under them, RPGs and explosive, they exploded. It was a secondary explosion. So essentially Hamas murdered.
Okay, I just spat out a piece of onion. Okay, even if what you're saying is true, you're still in the wrong. We have no evidence for what you say, what you're saying. That you have presented no evidence that what you're saying is true. But even if it was true, that still means you shouldn't blow that spot up unless you're willing to, you know, kill 45 plus women and children.
I'll take 3 objectives on your
It was
offset.
gas tanks that were
Assault them at
stored
your
there. There are pictures
discretion.
of the aftermath. I know, but it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. Even if it was weapons, which they've shown zero evidence for, by the way, they just lied about it, and the media
Secure those capture
never
zones,
questioned
agent.
it.
Team capturing zone C.
You're still blowing up the encampment, dumb.
Murdered its own people.
But
Let's be
that's,
very clear.
that's just the point. Hamas hides behind civilians. So how do you, well, if you're going after Hamas, how do you avoid civilians?
If Hamas
Friendly's going
is,
for zone B.
determined to kill
Capture
its own
zone
people, there's
contested.
nothing I can do to stop it. We cannot prevent Hamas from killing its own people. Just yesterday, let me tell you a story. In one of the houses under the bed of a 10-year-old girl in Gaza, there's a ammunition depot with RPGs and explosives. There's no way in the world that we can...
Yeah, he's like, we had to kill the 10-year-old. Bro, you don't understand. Like, you just don't get it. Like, I love that he did the real-time Hitler Minecraft copy meta. Like, that was in the beginning, in the early stages of October. If you recall, Israel would do this shit all the time. They'd be like, hello,
But you're
we
a
have
pro.
found a
You'll bounce
Hamas
back. Hostiles
terror
suppressed.
child.
I'm detecting
This is a
hostiles on
baby's
zone.
crib. And inside of the crib, there is RPG. Hamas RPG. Like,
Can
they would do
anyone
that every
provide
day.
first
capture
And it
zone
would
contested?
suspiciously always tag along and play the role of contextualizing a lot of this violence that was totally needed. Okay?
Hostiles on the
Always. They'd be
scoping
like,
zone
this
B.
is a Hitler book. Adolf Hitler, Hamas, Adolf Hitler.
prevent Hamas from killing its own people, and it wants to do that because it knows you're going to ask me those questions, and it applies pressure on Israel. The way to do away with it is if everyone pressures Hamas and not Israel and points the finger at Hamas. Stop killing your own people. Stop hiding explosives.
But they're not. But you're killing their people. Like, I don't think these guys understand that, like, no matter how hard you try to act like this is a naturally occurring phenomena, most people inevitably are going to be like, it seems like Israel's killing these people. It's so weird that the stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself bully
Friendly
strategy
capturing zone A.
is like
Zone secured.
universally recognized as some silly ass bullshit.
Capture
and
zone
yet
contested.
seemingly this is Israel's only counter
Friendly's going
narrative.
for zone B.
It's wild. It's like Bart Simpson shit, dude. What are we doing here? Like, children understand that to be silly.
Scanning for hostiles.
I'm detecting hostiles on zone C.
Mr. Prime Minister, let me ask you, first of all, about the state that we find ourselves in right now. I'm sure you know this, or else you won't come on the program. We've been extraordinarily critical of Hamas, and it said from the very beginning that when they kill a Jew, that's good news. When a Palestinian is killed, that's great news for Hamas. We certainly understand that equation. We also understand.
So these are like such old school Hosborough talking points. It's kind of crazy that Joe is like disinvested. He knows all the lore, bro. He knows all the talking points. It's crazy. I don't think this dude dick rides anything this hard. It's crazy. My parents are watching this shit. Yeah. No, on the issue of Palestine, your parents watching MSNBC, especially Morning Joe, is no different than them watching Fox News. The narrative is identical, 100%.
The terrible toll it's taken on the Gazan
Friendly
people,
capturing Zone A.
and also on Israel's reputation across the globe. I want to ask you about where we are right now, though. It seems to be the worst of all worlds, where the IDF is frozen in place. Gazans are starving. Gazans are not getting the medical care they need. It's almost like a siege. And it seems to be the worst of all worlds.
Almost like, by the way, he's saying worst of all worlds, not because Palestinians are dying. You know about that.
They can run, but hiding might be a problem.
The Palestinian deaths and are getting mad. If nobody got mad at Israel's actions, if nobody gave up, if young people weren't doing like protests nonstop, encampments in college campuses and shit like that, virtually zero coverage on this. They don't give a they love it. It's happened before. Look at any of the prior sieges. There's a reason why so many people, despite my endless coverage on the matter for the past 10 years, there were so many people after October 7th that were like, what the this is Hassan's take on this issue? The reason why is because most people just tune that shit out. They don't even hear it. They just think it's like, it's random foreign policy stuff I don't want to care about. Until they're forced to reckon with it.
That one of the reasons why you're
I'm detecting our sonar tech in enemy hands.
Needs to be able to go into Rafah and finish off Hamas, finish this war off, and start to rebuild.
Precisely. You know, it's you take off a Band-Aid quickly, you don't do it slowly, and you can't fight a war with an on and off
We're securing
button.
Zone A. Zone B is vulnerable.
Fighter, and it's impossible. When you hit your enemy, Hamas, you punch him in the face and wobble him. What you do not do is tell him, take a month off, get better, come back and fight another day. And this lack of continuity, lack of determination, coupled with American pressure on us to go slower, is a mistake. This could have been over 3 or 4 months ago if we just followed through. I think both governments are not conducting themselves in an optimal way.
What does Gaza look like in your eyes after Hamas is expelled? After, hopefully, the hostages are released, after there's some semblance of control, do you believe that the Israelis should take control of Gaza, or do you believe in the possibility of an international peacekeeping force with the United States and your Arab neighbors?
Well, I envision the model of post-World War II Germany, where the first phase is, first of all, defeating the Nazis.
Target down.
And we've not yet finished that. And then I would put in place an interim appointed government of competent Egyptians, primarily, Palestinians, Saudis, Emirates, while Israel retains the security responsibility. We don't want to govern Gaza. There's no desire, so in that sense, it's simple. This would go on
locking down Zone C.
5-6 years, in which period we'd also discontinue the incitement. So they'd have to stop teaching kids that Jews are pigs, etc.
Zone B is vulnerable.
In my mind, I'm listening to everything he's saying and thinking like, yeah, this is what should happen to Israel. Like what happened after Nazi Germany, the fall of Nazi Germany wasn't enough. They should have went further. And I'm just thinking like, yeah, no, thank you for laying out the steps of what must be done with Israel.
Stop it in the media, stop it in the mosques, and within 6, 7, 8 years, we see how it develops, and then we can hand over to self-governance. We do not want to govern Gaza. We have no desire whatsoever for anything from Gaza. For heaven's sake, we pulled out of Gaza in 2005. We handed it over to the Palestinians. So there's no territorial fight here. We have a terror state that wants to destroy Israel, and we don't want to be destroyed.
Do you see any third party, any outside forces, Qatar, for example, who could apply any pressure on Hamas to release the hostages to accept some kind of deal?
I think Qatar can do much more. I think Qatar is playing a very dirty game, a double-faced game. You know, they pretend to be a Western and an advanced country, but they in many ways are helping, together with Iran, to foster terror for many years. Yeah, they could.
The analysts predict you're close
Hamas
to
for the
winning.
simple
Hold
reason
on,
that right now the Hamas leadership
allies on A.
tells you, Qatar, and they could tell them, look, if you don't get the hostages released, we'll kick you out, and let's see you live in Damascus or Tehran, which is not as pleasant.
By the way, President Biden spoke to the Emir of Qatar yesterday with sent him a message.
This Emir and...
That's so stupid. Bro, if they lived in Damascus or Tehran, there would be no negotiations and all of the hostages would be murdered. What are you saying? You should be thanking every goddamn day that there are envoys and people that are mediating the process. What the It is pretty funny though to talk about Qatar. Like he's shitting on American policy in that situation. Like the reason why those guys live in Qatar is because America allows them to do so. And Turkey as well, which is also very involved in the Qatari politics. That's how you pronounce it, Shatters? No, it's not. Qatar. Qatar. Don't say it in Arabic. That's why I say Qatar.
And the Qataris have blood on their hands.
Former Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Mr. Prime Minister, thanks for being here today. We appreciate it.
Time and time again, we have seen influencers and celebrities' careers get destroyed after just one controversy. We have also seen celebs totally ignore their crimes or accusations and continue to succeed while the internet argues back and forth. But almost never have we seen someone accelerate their own controversy to the masses and declare their own career as over after being proven innocent of their crimes. Angry Reactions is one of the most famous and beloved TikTokers of all time who decided to abandon his career after TMZ reported that he was arrested for domestic abuse. And even though he has thousands, millions of people proclaiming his innocence, he still feels he has to clear his name. Little did he know, clearing his name would actually just dig him in a deeper, darker hole.
Putting their hands on me, I never called the police on her. She's so bruised.
It's so weird that the stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself.
Hi everyone, it is Samantha Lux. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're talking about allyship, right? Specifically allyship within the LGBT community, because there has, for some reason, been a very strong lacking of trans acceptance and trans support within the LGBT community, specifically from this gay man. This specific one, only him. I'm just kidding, he is definitely not the only one, but I have definitely noticed a lot of people within the LGBT community attacking other people in the LGBT community. I mean, we've all heard of, I mean, maybe we haven't, but there's that gay foundation that's like LGBT without the T, which is literally an advocacy group that is centered around like the exclusion of trans people from within the LGBT community, or the LGB community, I'm sorry. And it just makes me so mad, you know? And so when I saw this kid on my TikTok posting about the dolls and how, you know, we're men playing dress up and we're biological men and we're all delusional, blah, 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 I know I had to make a video about it. Okay, I did actually make a short video response to one of his TikToks on trans people. The one where he was talking about Frankie, my friend Frankie. Leave Frankie alone. And a lot of you were asking me to do a full YouTube video on him. And he definitely has a lot of anti-trans content. So we've got a lot to work with here.
All right, this is it, people. Let's move. Let's go.
Including a response to yours truly Me. But yes, after I made that video response where I was, replying to what he was saying about Frankie, he did make another TikTok video responding to what I was saying. And for somebody who claims to be highly educated and very intelligent, not a lot of smart things were said. Not a lot. So for today's video, we are going to be watching that response video. But before we do that, I want to react to some of his other anti-trans content because, like I said, there's so much. My name is Samantha Lux. I post videos every single week here on my channel where I give you my perspective as a trans woman who studied media. So if you guys are not yet subscribed and you would like to be, go ahead and do that right now. Go ahead. I'll wait for you. Go ahead. It's down there if you're wondering where I'm pointing. The subscribe button. Hit it. Are you there? Thank you very much. I also have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a TikTok, so if you guys are interested in keeping more up to date with my life, definitely follow me over on there. And I also have a Twitch where I stream video games every single week. So if you guys like watching video games like Zelda, Ocarina of Time, definitely click on my Twitch link down below and come and hang out. We have so much fun. But yeah, with no further ado, let's get into it. So like I said, I am going to save the response for the end of the video. I gotta keep you guys watching somehow. I gotta do it somehow. So I'm gonna start with some of his older anti-trans content, okay?
Capture zone contested.
I don't think I'm ready for this. Do y'all see what this says right here?
Reloading. Cover me.
International.
Friendly's going for zone B.
It's pronounced transgender. I think he's having a hard time reading. It's pronounced transgender, babe. Transgender.
Capture zone secured.
Don't we have the whole month of June, fucking April, May, everywhere in every state there's a different whole month for the LGBT and the rest of BCDD, whatever. So you mean to tell me the day that Jesus died, not died.
Hostiles on the scope at zone B.
He's like, not Jesus is death. Oh wait, no, he didn't die that day. Actually, I don't know anything about Jesus.
Capture zone
the fact that he's
contested.
messing up what the significance of Easter is, it's just very indicative of me that this man, or this boy, this child, does not even know anything about it. He's like, oh, they're mad at the trans people again. Let's make a video. Let's make a little TikTok to get some new followers. This was a little bit of a controversy on Easter, obviously. That International Trans Day of Visibility landed on Easter this year, the same day. I mean, I don't think this was purposeful. I mean,
Friendly's going for zone
it was
B.
literally just a coincidence. Like, Trans Day of Visibility is on March 31st every single year, and Easter changes all the time. So who's the real bad guy here? Who really is taking up whose holiday? Like, Transgender Day of Visibility's holiday. Babe, we literally need that because we're getting murdered. He's acting like he's so offended that they could possibly have International Trans Day of Visibility on Easter. Doesn't even know what Easter's about. He's like, not the buddy day. I'm supposed to be hunting for eggs today. The Easter egg hunt is still going on. It's okay. They're still doing it. The publish group just went out. Hurry up.
The day that Jesus rose, 7 days after, he got labeled back as this, and then to sit here and say we are a nation that serves God. I'm sorry. God didn't.
Who said that? I'm sorry. Who said that we're a nation that serves God? I love when people say, as a highly intelligent, as a highly educated person, doesn't know that there's a separation of church and state. Doesn't know that we're not a nation of God. Oh my God, that's kind of the whole point, that we're not. He must have missed that lesson in school. Maybe he was getting his nails done.
It's just, some wild shit, and I don't understand how y'all sit here and say anything that this human right here has done within this past, since 2020 till today, has done anything positive. Can someone name me 3 things positive that he has done besides inflation, gas prices?
Team's going for B.
Shortages.
Not even talking about Biden like he knows fucking anything. Listen, we're not gonna get into all that, but please vote. Vote. That's all I'll say. Keep in mind that it is more than just the single individual person, the president, that is on the election this cycle. We are voting for everything. We are voting to keep a lot of people in office and not just me. Okay? But yes, that was example 1 of our highly educated, trans-positive, trans-supportive friend. See what we're getting ourselves into today? Oh my God.
Alright, so everyone can ask about Kyle. I don't even know exactly what to say. The hombre, okay, went to Mexico, went to the hospital.
I'm sorry, does he not realize that this is not real? He's talking about this like it's some real person. Is he kidding? Wait, let's keep going.
This video was posted like 3 or 4 days ago, by the way, so we have not heard
Rogue
that.
Echelon agent activated sonar goggles. We're facing mission failure,
exactly
agent.
where they belong. Okay, they did have her in the hospital, exactly where she belonged, but I think they're taking her now to
Revealing enemies!
the one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, needless to say, trans women cannot get pregnant, right? The person that this little twink is reacting to, I don't even think they're trans. I was looking at some of their videos and somebody said in the comments, like, this is not a real trans person. Like, look them up. They're on Dr. Phil. Like, they're just looking for attention. It's like, where's the highly educated babe? I know I keep going back to it, but like, where's the highly educated? Where is the discernment? Where is the critical thinking here? That's a gag. That is not real. But honestly, I think he knows that. I think that he does not care. He will use any media that is available to paint people as creepy and delusional, because that's what gets him followers. That's what gets him views. Notice how all of his videos are over a minute long and he's just rambling, saying literally nothing of substance. That's because TikTok pays you if videos are over a minute. He's scamming you. It's the same stuff over and over again, right? It's the racist Candace Owens. It's the transphobic Blair White. It's homophobic. What was that guy on frickin' Jubilee? I don't know. People that don't like us love when one of us speaks out against all of us. You know what I mean? They love being able to use somebody that is gay, that is trans, to talk about other trans or other gay people, right? Because then it makes it acceptable for them. It makes it so they're not the bad guy. They're just agreeing with what somebody else said. He said it, not me. He's gay. He must know. Babe, he doesn't know shit. He doesn't know anything, girl. I promise you, this boy knows nothing about the trans community. He can't even spell the word.
Mission's wrapping up. If only I could push some last-minute bulletproof tactics to your ops pad.
Scanning for hostiles.
Is it? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think it's real, babe. I really don't. I don't think it's real. But if it is real, let's just go there. Let's just dive into that little puddle. If it is, what are we doing? Like, this person is clearly unwell. This person is clearly not doing okay. So you make a TikTok about them? You call them delusional, which, like...
The nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption.
It's giving, haha, you have cancer. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you good? Okay, somebody has mental illness. You think that's funny? You think it's cool to, like, mock people for being delusional and, like, going into, like, psychosis and shit? Like, that's not fun. Like, that's serious stuff, right? Look at this fucking picture I took of him. Look at his fucking stars in the background, his little planets on the ceiling. Highly educated, mature, adult. I can't. Okay, enough with him mocking the mentally ill. Let's move on to the next one.
Dr. Rod would bring in multiple residents to just watch me.
Again, he can't say the word transgender. It's not a slur on TikTok. I don't think he'll get in trouble for it.
While I was sitting there and I couldn't walk, I couldn't move. I was in so much pain. And yeah.
Okay, we're not gonna watch this because it's like not pleasant to watch. But basically in the video, this girl, this trans woman, is talking about her experience having gone through bottom surgery and having a bad result. Honestly, it is a very, very sad video. It's a very sad situation that happened with this person, and I have nothing bad to say about her. Obviously, you know, medical trauma is a very hard thing to go through. So whatever way that she feels that she needs to deal with it, that is her business. But what I have a problem with is using her story to say that all of bottom surgery for trans people is bad. All of bottom surgery is going to botch you and make you have horrible results. That's just not the case. I had bottom surgery 6+ years ago and my results are great. Like, knock on wood, I've had no major complications. I have been great. My sex life is good now. I don't have bottom dysphoria anymore. For me, it was a success. And I think that what we can really take out of these stories is to beware of predatory surgeons. Not saying that this surgeon was one of these ones, but there are definitely surgeons out there that are not going through the proper training, the proper protocol to be fully equipped to do this surgery. I do believe they are fully taking advantage of trans patients who are extremely vulnerable to doctors because they just so desperately want these procedures done. I've talked about this on my channel before, but there are surgeons that, you know, watch other surgeons perform the surgery a few times and then go for it. And then their patients have horrible results. They, you know, not only don't look great, they don't function properly, and just very unsatisfactory results. And I would hate that for anybody. You know, your genitals are a huge part of your life. You don't want to mess that up. So please, if you are considering going for bottom surgery, please, 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 please make sure that your doctor is fully equipped. Make sure that they've done 6 months plus of training, that they have tons of experience, that they are working with somebody that is experienced. Please just make sure that you are doing your due diligence. I actually am going to be coming out with a video on a little guide to help you guys pick your bottom surgeon. So yeah, definitely look out for that video. But this TikTok from Ryan is, again, a lot of the same things, you know, perpetuating these ideas that transphobes already have in their head that, you know, bottom surgery is just going to botch everybody, which it doesn't. There are definitely horror stories out there from auto surgery, but that's not the case for everybody. In fact, there was a new study that came out that looked at regret rates for these surgeries and found that they are much, much lower than like all other surgeries. That there's a 1% regret rate for these surgeries, which is astounding, which is amazing. We cannot be using the one or two bad examples to make a judgment on the whole thing. You know what I mean? To make a judgment on the whole operation, to make a judgment on the whole process. That is silly. That is not logical. Like I've been telling you guys, he's always talking about how logical he is. He's always talking about how educated and how smart he is. Can we get some critical thinking, please?
Zone secured.
And no, here's why. From day one,
Enemies on B.
See, I had to cut that real short because that already happened. So we're saying that we're gonna believe anything that comes out of 4-year-olds' mouths now. Fully grown adults with fully developed brains and knowing that even when we were kids, not everything that came out of our mouth is true. And we want to be astronauts today, policemen tomorrow, lawyers today. We want to be whatever.
Y'all didn't hear that either, right? Because I did not hear that. I did not hear that we should believe everything that comes out of a 4-year-old's mouth. That's not what was said. So right off the bat, he's comparing a transition, right? Gender-affirming care, which, by the way, for children, gender-affirming care just means like maybe a haircut, a change of clothes, a new name that they want to use. No surgeries, no medical interventions at all. So he compared gender-affirming care, changing your name, changing your haircut, to a career choice. Very interesting, actually, because you can look at that study again and see the regret rate for careers in divorce are much, much, much higher than for a trans person. However, that's not what we're doing, right? It's not like a trans kid wakes up one day and says, I want to be a girl, let's do it. And then the next day they're a girl. Done. Over. You know what I mean? That's not what happens. That's not what happens. I have met so many trans kids over the course of my work with the trans community, and I can tell you that is not how it happens at all. All of the parents that I've met with trans kids are extremely hesitant, extremely nervous for what this might mean for their kid. They go to as many doctors as they can. They go to as many therapists as they can before intervening. They always help to see, are you maybe more comfortable like just as a feminine boy or a masculine girl? You know what I mean? Maybe you can just wear what you want to wear. You don't have to change your name. They're not dumb. You know what I mean? These parents are not dumb. And I feel like that's really what this conversation leads to a lot of times. They just think that these parents are like evil, manipulative, like just stupid parents that will just allow kids to go through a transition without any sort of critical thinking. That is not what happens with parents, and it's also not what happens in the hospital. That's not the medical protocol for this either. And by medical protocol, I do want to be clear. I'm not talking about medical interventions for children. I'm just talking about like if you go to a therapist, they're going to say, you should do this. That will be the best sort of care for your kid. Something else about the trans kids that I've met is a lot of them are really, really unhappy and their parents are scared and they don't know what to do and they just want their kid to be happy. Personally, I trust the parents out there, you know what I mean? I feel like nobody knows what's best for their kid more than a parent, more than that child's doctors, more than the people that are in that kid's life every single day. Nobody knows better than these people. And so who would I be? What kind of like weird, twisted belief would I have to hold to want to take away a parent's right to choose what they think is best for their kid? Why would I want to take away a parent's right to access to care that has been shown time and time again to be what's best for their child? Why would I want to take away evidence-based, safe, effective care from my kid? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to take that choice away from parents when I don't even know the kid? I don't know him at all. This belief really just comes down to the fact that you don't think that trans people are really trans, right? You think that it must be a decision that we're making. You think that it must be some sort of path that we were steered down or some sort of thing that we were persuaded into. That's not the case. We're just trans. It's just who we are. Studies actually show that gender identity can form as early as 3 years old. So it's not really that out there for a child 4 years old to know that they're trans. And all the trans community is fighting for those kids is to support them and to accept them for who they are. We're not saying bring them to the doctor, get them on hormones, get them on puberty blockers, get them surgery. That's not at all what we're saying. We're just saying accept them, support them, tell them that they'll be all right, tell them that they are, you know, valid in what they're thinking, and believe that what they're feeling is what they're feeling, you know? Biggest thing, the most important thing for us is just to be heard, just to be listened to, just to be validated in our identities.
So you're gonna sit here, you're gonna tell me that just because the 4-year-old sits here and says some out their mouth that we gotta sit here and believe it and set it into stone, or we can't just, you know, either roll on for a little bit and let it play out, or like, let me tell you something happened. Even to the age of 9, and guess what? They are not ready for any of these things. The basics of life. sit here and worry about my sexuality and how any of that is affecting them.
You be secure on the capture
Like, I
zone
also
and
have
keep
3
them that
nephews,
way.
1 niece. I don't go up to them and say, hi, I'm your trans auntie. Hi, like, let's go get some hormone shots together. Like, you want to change your gender? It'll be so fun. Like, what? No. I've never even had that conversation. I don't even know if they know. But this conversation took like a weird turn. Like, that's what I was saying, where this kid doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's going on to 2 different tangents now, where like trans kids can't know if they're trans, but also kids shouldn't learn about the LGBT community. So like, which one is it? Which one are you talking about? And it's actually so ironic because he tries to relate it back to his own experience, where like, nobody told me about my sexuality. Like, I had to just grow up and like wait until I was older. Did you? I'm pretty sure you're like 13 right now. I'm just kidding. But I do want to say something about that. My cousin is my best friend. We're in the same age. We grew up at the same time. And he's gay. He knew he was gay pretty young. And when it came out to his mom said, you can figure all that out when you're older. Other things that were said were, you don't know who you are this young. You don't know up from down. You don't know left from right. Just like all those kind of things, you know what I mean? Where like, a kid couldn't possibly know who they were. A kid couldn't possibly know this. And here we are, 10 years later, and he's got a boyfriend. Like, he's a homosexual.
A homosexual.
And I just have to draw the similarity between what this kid is currently saying about trans people, where they won't know and they'll grow out of it, and you can't steer them down a wrong path and they'll get sucked into it. I can't not point out the similarity that has to people saying that you'll grow out of being gay, like you don't know who you are yet, you're just a phase, it's just a phase, blah, blah, blah. It's all the same and what it really boils down to is thinking that being gay or being trans is not a normal thing. It's not something that a person can be. It comes down to thinking that that is something that you have to choose to do, right? Because if you're young and you don't have life experience, how could you possibly know what to choose, right? No, not right. Because this isn't a choice. It's not a choice that we make based off of the life experiences that we've had and, you know, the perceptions that we see in the world. It's just who we are. When we decide to come out, it's a combination of, 1, when we're ready, but 2, when we figure it out. You know, it's not when we decide to do it and we're old enough to have the life experience to know what we want to do. No, it's just when we figure it out. And I'm just gonna take a wild guess to assume that this boy to not have to have some crazy life experience with girls to know that he's gay, right? And I could tell from a mile away, babe. Again, it's just him reiterating these anti-trans talking points, like the kids don't need to know, blah, 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 blah. It's boring. It's not anything substantial.
Transgender women belong in women's sports.
On what planet exactly? Elaborate. Don't mind the background. I am in the basement, but who? Well, whatever that person just said, okay, I do not feel like biological men.
You know, I'm sorry, but this dude with the nails, he's not performing man right now. There will be people on his side who will say he's not a man.
Maybe born into this planet, we should not be on a team with aliens. And that is just that. Now, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of different things and a lot of different, options and trials and imitations of things that are going on today.
Mission accomplished.
I just feel like...
What? What are you talking about now, again? Trials and tests of things going on.
Like, men aren't supposed to have long nails like that. So what's up?
Now, are you talking about hormones? You're saying that hormones might make an effect on somebody's body and therefore lessen the strength that a biological man may have and therefore put him onto an equal playing field as a cisgender woman? Is that what you're saying? I think I just told a trans woman. But I meant she, girl.
That changes, necessarily... what it is, what it really is.
Okay, yeah, I think I'm right. I think he's saying that hormones don't really change the fact that you were born a biological man and the fact that you can beat women. Like, I'm sorry, can I just sorry, who am I beating? Or who am I beating right now? I'm just a girl. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Is the biological man in the building? I'm sorry. Hormones did do a little something. Like, babe, I go to the gym 3 times a week. You're telling me that hormones didn't have an effect on my body. Oh, I'm trying so hard to have muscle. Completely denying all of the effects of hormone replacement therapy. He's either denying it or he's just not educated on it, which may be the case because there's a lot of things he doesn't seem to know about. I've made many videos on trans women in sports, so definitely go check those out if you're interested in my opinion. I had to include this one though because it's just so ironic, right? He's like, me as a biological man, he's like, I would just naturally beat a woman at everything that I do. I'm just so much stronger than the woman. The stronger than woman in question. Like, come on. be f***ing for real, my dude. Like, I'm pretty scrawny, but I could beat you. I could beat you. Not like beat, but like maybe like some wrestling or like basketball. Maybe not me, but I can guarantee you that a good 60% of the cisgender female population could beat you at any sport. Any of them, babe. Any of the sports.
Me as a man, I'm just naturally stronger than a woman. Could do more than a woman. Probably can, you know, I could just outdo, you know, women in a lot of things, physical-wise, sport-wise, competition.
I'm sorry, I can't
He's just dumb as dog shit.
stop laughing. I guess this. Sorry.
Wise, if we're gonna compete, you know, one next to the other. So, yeah, no. I would agree with a separate category. Roger. You know, separated from both since we want to be separate and all that. But, yeah.
Separate but equal. Sounds good to me.
Let's talk about trans women using women's restrooms.
Domination. I'll take 3 objectives on your OPSAT. Assault them at your discretion.
2 weeks, they were caught in the women's bathroom, and I think there was a child there or something that could turn into a whole situation with a normal operating brain.
1.
Has nieces,
Your mission is to
cousins,
secure the capture zone.
all that. You know, I personally would not want my nieces and my
Friendlies
young little girl
capturing Zone A.
cousins and all that really being in the same space
Revealing
as
enemies.
a, you know, biological man.
Okay, well, I don't want them in the same space as a little boy with big old long nails on them. See how easy that is? See how easy it is to go from trans women to gay men? If we're kicking out the trans women from the bathroom, then you're not allowed in public at all. Okay?
Friendlies going for Zone B.
Fully banned. I'm sorry. Take that out. Again, as the token biological male in question, I've seen some sketchy stuff in ladies' bathrooms. I am the least of their worries. I am the least of their worries, babe. But it's gonna allow in predators. It's gonna allow in men that will attack women. Arrest them. Make bathrooms safer. Have private bathrooms. Don't go to a public bathroom. I don't know what to tell you. Like, trans women are not Christian.
You're down, but never out, agent. You got this.
Where they're probably 100 times more safe. That's just my personal opinion. Same way I think that biological men, you know me, I'm born a biological man. I should not be on a woman's team, you know, on a sports team already against women because we're just naturally gonna beat them. Naturally, it's just bound to happen. I don't think that we also should be using the same bathroom because now what happens when rape cases and groping.
Boy, if you don't get... Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, now finally we're gonna move on to the video where he called out our friend Frankie, and then the response video.
Gathering
and where he called
intel.
out us. Okay?
Protect our children. Language is being used to create a...
Friendlies going for Zone B. Capture Zone A is at risk.
Protect this kid in order to flip the script and to change the narrative and to
Hostiles hold all capture zones. Start making some noise, agent.
So if you're out there, I that you are loved and that you are
Friendlies capturing Zone A.
inclusive pride flag.
Gathering intel.
Period. I agree, Frankie. Thank you so much. Well said, Frankie.
Let's start with the fact that right-wingers are not the person, okay, to blame.
Team capturing
Let's
Zone
just
C.
start there. Normal parents, caring parents do not want their children, okay, exposed to ideologies, sexualities, sexual preferences, nothing like that. You know why? Because they should not be worrying about sitting down and dating anybody, flourishing in their sexuality, because guess what they're not doing?
Capture zone contested.
I doesn't even know the difference between sexuality and gender identity, right? We're talking about trans kids right now. We're not talking about sexual orientation, who kids are attracted to. Like, we're talking about gender. We're talking about gender identity. There's a difference.
Sex. Y'all get it? They're not dating. They're not being intimate. So I don't understand where this is miscommunication with the whole thing has come about.
I'm detecting hostiles on Zone C.
Miscommunication is on you.
To know. There's not a 6-year-old waiting to come out and change their whole way of being. And if you listen to the end of what that young man right there just said, he just said, we're going to be willing to wrap the rainbow around you. Maybe that is grooming. You're waiting to groom that don't need, that you literally are talking to kids. That's what you just said. Like,
Capture Zone A is at
can't
risk.
seem to wrap my head around that shit.
But I'm so over this whole you're grooming, that's grooming, that's grooming, because it, first of all, it's not right. It's not correct, obviously. That is not what grooming is. But I hate it so much because grooming is such a important thing to talk about, and it's such a serious thing. If you don't know, maybe Google it. Actually, you don't know. Grooming is when an adult, like, kind of prepares a kid to... I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it. But that's just not what is happening here, right? Grooming is a very, very specific thing. It is not just influencing certain kids to have certain beliefs or to accept certain people or to know that trans people exist. That's... No, honestly, talking about grooming like this is disgusting. Not only because trans people are not grooming, Frankie is not grooming anybody, but because it minimizes actual cases of grooming where kids are actually being abused. It seems to me that this kid got on like right-wing Twitter or something and has just been reading all the headlines like grooming, trans kids, trans sports, and just like giving these right-wingers what they want. It's a great business model, but you look silly. Like I said, I did make a short little response video to this, so I'm going to insert that right now so I don't have to say it all over again. My main issue with this video is this gay man calling another gay man a groomer for wanting to protect trans kids. My first question is, why is TikTok not taking this content down? Implying that somebody is a groomer for wanting to protect young trans kids is asinine and 100% against community guidelines. TikTok, do better. And I'd also love to remind you that it was not too long ago that the gay community was the community that was being called groomers just for being who they are. That's what's happening now with trans people. To come out and say that no 6-year-old knows that they're trans is just not right. Trans people, just like gay people, are born trans or born gay. So at one point, they were kids who are trans, who are gay, right? Protecting trans kids, protecting gay kids does not mean teaching them about sex. There are literally hundreds of bills attacking trans kids. Bills that take away parents' right to choose what is best for their kid. You're advocating for taking that away from people?
Friendlies locking down zone.
You really have to have never been around a kid in your entire life to think that you could persuade a kid to be trans or gay. That's not how it works. But by all means, keep piling on the trans community because it gets you views. Have fun. So yeah, I posted that video and then people started tagging him in my video. They started ratting on me. So then he posted this one.
So I've seen people were upset about me calling Mr. Frankie a groomer, which indeed he is. And everybody else who's been trying to force this sexuality and preferences and ideas onto children.
If by pushing things onto children, you mean teaching kids that it's okay to be gay and it's okay to be trans and we should accept people if they're gay and trans, if that's what you mean by pushing ideologies, then yes, let's push some ideologies.
I just personally feel like we could all teach kids love, acceptance, and, you know, loving thy neighbor without sitting here having to dissect the exact reason why we're teaching them to love each other. There shouldn't be because I'm gay, I deserve more love, or because you're green, you deserve more love, or because
this will be a fun report to write.
We should all just love, you know, one another regardless. Yeah, I do understand that, right?
We should all love each other regardless. But you're a groomer. I mean, I do agree. We should accept everybody just because they're people, right? But that includes trans people, the people that you've been attacking in all these other videos.
So when I say these topics should not be taking place in school, I 100% mean wholeheartedly that these topics should not be taking place in school. And these clubs should be there and things like that. We should get back to the old days where we all did things together and, you know, that's how we got along, not because of preferences or color. Y'all people want to sit here and put all these...
It's giving, I would accept you if you're orange or green or purple. I don't care what you are. Let's just all live together as big one happy family. That didn't work. Look around. That didn't work. In my high school, kids were afraid to come out. I was afraid to come out because of the lack of gay and street alliance clubs or whatever other clubs that you're talking about. And that was in high school, not even elementary school or middle school. I don't think we need to form lesson plans about like gay people and trans people for middle schoolers or elementary schoolers. That's not what we're saying at all. But putting an explicit ban over all of this is an explicit attempt to keep kids from knowing anything about who they are. I mean, this theory does work if you think that being gay or being trans is a choice, because, I mean, if you never have the ability to make that choice, if you never see that that choice is an option, obviously that's, you know, you won't make that choice. But that's not how it is. Being gay is just who people are. So these kids that are not having any exposure to other people like them or any sort of education around it, they're going to think that there's something wrong with them, think that they're crazy, think that they're weird, think that they're abnormal. And that's not good. That's not the way people should be having to grow up. Everybody wants to feel like there's other people out there like them, that they have a role model that they can look up to, that there is somebody that has gone through the same struggles that they might have gone through. Representation is so important. And that's what this conversation is really about, representation in schools. It's about being able to openly talk about who you are. I hate to break it to you, but the same people that don't want kids to know about trans people would hate if you were in a classroom with their kids because them clicky clacks. That's not cute. That's not masculine, babe. And like it or not, the group of people that you're supporting and defending with all these TikTok videos, they don't like when men are feminine. They don't. They'll put you on the stake after a mistake. It is kind of sad because I feel like this type of person, like the gay person that says homophobic things or the trans person that says transphobic things, I feel like it's all self-hate. I feel like it is all very deeply rooted, and it's an attempt to gain acceptance or gain validation or gain support from people who hate you, right? He probably feels that if he can win over the people that maybe bullied him for being feminine, then it's okay that he is feminine, and it's okay that he is who he is, and then he's winning, you know? I don't know. Everybody wants to be the good one. Everybody wants to be the one worthy one, the special one, but that's not you. It's not you. All right, you guys, I think this video has gotten way too long. I'm starting to ramble now, so I'm gonna go. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you are not already and you'd like to be. I post videos every single week here on my channel. And yeah, don't be a pick-me guy. They're not cute. Love you. Bye, everyone.
Domination. This op's a bit raucous for the Echelon playbook, but I'm sure you'll manage. 3, 2, 1. Secure those capture zones, Agent. Friendlies capturing Zone A.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we have a very, very special guest. Hi, Sam. Sam number 2.
Oh, yeah, Sam 2.
Zone secured.
Or Sam number 1, but it's the other Sam.
Other Sam. I'm Sam 2.
Yes, we're both Sam 2. There is no Sam 1. Surprise.
Actually, it's me because of the patriarchy.
We love the patriarchy. Horses, right? That's what the Barbie movie taught me. But it's all about horses.
It is.
That's what I hear. I don't know.
Yeah, it's all about horses.
So I've invited you here today because we have some amazing, amazing content. You just restarted your podcast, right? The Outspoken podcast. Is it Outspoken 2 or just Outspoken podcast again?
Oh, Outspoken podcast, yeah, with my girlfriend Shannon, and I'm going to force you to come on. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yes, I will be there. I will be there. But yes. I bring it up not only to congratulate you, but today we're going to be watching some cringy podcast content. Literally just... I don't even know how to describe this man. I don't know how to describe his channel or anything like that. I don't know if he's trying to be like a dating guy or anything like that, but have you heard of the Whatever podcast?
No, you told me about it before, but not really.
I've been seeing a bunch of freaking clips of this man. First of all, I'll be nice. This very wonderful gentleman just saying the most random, like, rage bait worthy things about women, about trans people, just literally anybody. So I'm going to force you to watch it with me today.
Hostiles on the scope in Zone B.
I'm so stoked.
And I know that you're like one of the biggest like sexists on YouTube, so like I'm sure you'll love this content.
I cannot wait to agree with this guy.
You literally, the first thing you said was, we love the patriarchy.
This is a rough off, but you're a pro.
Yeah.
You'll bounce back.
When men are basically not allowed to have any preferences, standards, and boundaries when it comes to what they want in a partner. If a girl wants an older guy, that's a preference. Guy wants younger, creepy, immature. Maybe even if you want a younger woman, even if you want to date a younger adult woman, they want to call you a P word,
which is crazy.
Girl doesn't want a short guy, preference. Guy doesn't want an overweight girl, shallow, asshole. Girl wants a dominant guy, preference. Guy wants a submissive woman, misogyny. Girl sets a boundary, empowering. Guy sets a boundary, controlling.
He's like, excuse me for freaking wanting a freaking little schoolgirl. My bad. Like, shit.
Yeah.
She said she was 18.
She said she was 18. They'll call me a P word, all right? They'll call me a P word. I don't want to be called a P word. I just want to date 14-year-olds.
Hey, yo. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Like, sir, if the shoe fits, if it works, it works, girl. Not my problem.
I love girl sets a boundary, empowering. Guy sets a boundary, controlling. Or maybe you were just called controlling because it's different reasons. So
maybe you're just controlling her. Maybe there's something else going on here.
There's a difference between controlling and having a boundary. Some people don't know.
I mean, you're literally a straight man. Do you have no boundaries?
I can't condone it, but I get it.
I'm like, I know you personally. I know you don't. I know you don't.
I do have no boundaries. If everyone crosses my boundaries,
I'm not a good example. I'm not the one to ask.
I can't say they don't work.
All right. Well, you prove it incorrect. Boundaries don't work for straight men. Really, keep your boundaries. Way to go, Sam. You proved him right.
Everyone breaks my boundaries.
Well, in 2024, we're gonna set boundaries.
Yeah, you haven't broken my boundaries.
I mean, shit, I don't know.
I have a list actually. I've been waiting to. So right now when it's
He said, and I'm glad you brought it up.
I'm glad we brought it up because last time I saw you, Samantha.
I was a little drunk. I might have done some crazy
Friendly
things.
going for zone B.
Just standing there. I'm like, what did I do? I was gonna
didn't even do anything.
I know.
I think you just laughed.
Friendly capturing zone A.
That's not right.
It happens to be the case that men are attracted to younger
We're taking
women
A.
for a
About to lose
myriad
B.
of reasons.
Zone
And when
secured.
I say younger women, I mean women, adult women from 18 and up. Okay, 18. Let's say 18 to 25. They've done studies on this. They ask men of all ages.
This man invited all these girls here just to defend his preferences. He said, "Listen, I need you all to sit here for a minute. I have something to say."
Look at all of their faces are so. Why did they agree to go on this? And he's like, and I'm talking about adult women, okay? Remember, 18 and up.
Literally, like, imagine if they were in a different country that would that suddenly change. They're like, if you are 16 and over, it is perfectly fine. We see what you're trying to do. It's just you're being creepy.
Exactly.
The peak attractiveness that they see in women is between the age of like 20 and 21. 20 and 22 is what men find the most physically attractive. That age range. It's kind of funny. Like men, we don't shame women for y'all
Hostiles
preferences.
are
You could be
winning,
one guy
Agent.
who's confident, rich, funny, charismatic, all these things, right? But men, we have different preferences than you guys do. We're attracted.
Friendly locking down zone
He did this in the last video. He likes to bring
Secure
up
all
women's
the zones.
preferences. You
This
like to
should be
compliment
familiar
blah, 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 blah.
territory.
Why can't I like a 20 to 22-year-old? That's not the same thing.
Gathering intel.
Right.
You can date who you want to date, but you're being weird about it and you're bringing it up so often. Why? I'm 28. I wouldn't want to date a 22-year-old.
Allies on B.
That's my
Capture zone
preference. If you're
secured.
constantly seeking that out, it's weird. Well, the peak fertility range is this, and that's why I want to date a younger woman and blah, blah, blah. If it's not just like sort of something that happens, like, there's tons of age gap relationships, but it's like, if you're, like you said, if you're weird about it, that's when it's like, okay, dude.
This observation.
From 18 to 60, men prefer men find the most of the women that they find the most attractive. It's between 20 and 22.
I've seen this study. It's very concerning. Very concerning. I don't like it.
It's a real study?
I think it is. I mean, it wasn't really like a study. It was like a survey. You know what I mean? They like.
It sounds like it would be accurate.
Yeah, but for like for the women that they asked, it was like the age range that they were attracted to was like it increased as they got older, you know. But for the men, it like stayed at 20 as they got older. So it was a little bit weird, a little bit creepy.
Leonardo DiCaprio jump scare.
Literally, this is a hard line at 25. He said, "You gotta go. Happy birthday. There's your key. You gotta go. The key out. Not the key in, babe. Out.
Oh, nah.
Bye. See you never."
I'm sorry, I'm just still processing the fact that was like
Gathering intel.
The age range. Okay.
Right. No, it's like no, you're right, sir. But that's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah. Why are you? I just don't know why it's a constant thing.
Anyways, enough talking about his interests or his preferences. Sorry, for women of the age of 20 to 22. I'm over it. I'm creeped out.
What else does he talk about?
Well, he loves to do this thing where he like just shits on women. I think it's like his kink or something. He's like, tell me that you're confident. Tell me that you think you're pretty so I can tell you that I don't think you're pretty. That's like his whole bit. That's what he doesn't like.
Friendly's moving on C.
God.
Ask the ladies to rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10.
Zone contested.
10 then.
10. Capture zone secured.
10.
Send the asteroid. Y'all are, come on, 10s.
Gathering intel.
What would you rate yourself, Brian?
6.5 on a good day. Hubris,
going for
like
B.
delusional to rate yourself on a 10. So y'all are perfect.
Yep.
We're losing zone A.
Yeah. Come on. If you guys are 10s, then there's no girl that's better looking than you.
We're losing A.
Every girl is a 10.
Every
We're
woman's a
securing
10?
B.
Is every guy a 10?
Yeah,
Whoa. Every woman's
You're
a 10,
off your
but not
game,
every guy's a
Agent.
10.
No, she ate with that one. She's so right.
I mean, he didn't rate himself a 10, but I think, you know what? He's a 0 after everything he's saying.
Yeah, hard 0, and not just on looks. Ugly on the inside and the outside. I mean, just the inside.
Just the inside.
not breaking community guidelines.
We're nice people. We're nice. He's so beautiful.
I'm sure he has a great personality. No, I'm not. He doesn't have a great personality. But there's something, maybe something in there somewhere that's good. Maybe.
A good beard?
Maybe not there. Maybe not there. Maybe somewhere else. There's somewhere though. Not that one. Not that one. He talks about why he always talks about, or like why he always asks this question, and like why he always loves to bring these women down when they think they're a 10. And it's because he feels like if all these women think that they're 10s, then they're not going to want to date anybody like him. Any like people that aren't like top tier men. You know what I mean? If all the women think that they're top tier, then they're going to only go after top tier men, and he doesn't have to put in the work to be a better man, basically. So it's like, just be better. Just do better, babe. Like, just be better.
Just be better. Also, why are you thinking about it so hard? And I can't believe he sat there and just told them all. Like, I feel like they go on this podcast just to mess with him, or they don't know what they're getting into. I have no idea.
Like for attention, right? Just like, oh, we're going on a fun little podcast and we're gonna like whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of these people aren't like media people. You know what I mean?
That's true. But it's like me or you hopping on to Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro or something.
It's giving very much like when Michael Knowles and like Ben Shapiro go to like the college campuses and talk to people that are just totally unprepared.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. It's just talking to like the most random girls that don't even know what they're getting themselves
Your
into.
mission is to secure the capture zone.
Ridiculous.
It's kind of sad, but I
Friendly
do love every
capturing
once in a
zone A.
while there'll be a girl on there to like just puts him in his place. You know what I mean?
I love women.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna rate you guys, but none of you are a 10.
You just rated us.
No, I'm not gonna give you, but none of you are 10s.
That's fine. Yeah, we did.
I'm detecting hostiles on zone C.
I didn't ask.
Gathering
Why is there a
intel.
doll next to him?
That's his girlfriend.
Is that like a sex doll?
It's literally a sex toy, yeah. I think.
Either way, odd. If it's like the thing that he like has sex with after his podcast.
He brings it on there, still like
Didn't clean it.
didn't clean it, nothing. Still like, you know. He's like, this is my perfect woman. You girls should aspire to be more like this.
Zone secure.
Didn't say anything.
Capture zone contested.
she's supposed to be blue-haired lib. Is that what she's supposed to be?
She got us good. Not the girl with blue hair sitting there like.
If you don't want to sleep with a trans woman, that is your prerogative. I don't give a fuck what you want to do. That is your preference. That does not make you transphobic at all. But to get up on a
Hostiles on the
podcast
scope
that
in
has
Zone
almost
B.
4 million viewers and to say that any man who chooses to sleep with a trans woman is now taking part in homosexual gay activities, I feel like that is wrong. I feel like that is hateful. And for somebody who claims to be so religious, so God, you born again virgin Christian, I think that's very hateful of you. If you want to say, I personally wouldn't do that, that's not for me, then that's your thing. Answer the question. That's how you
Exactly what she's saying. And I was just thinking about this the other day. If they want to go and they want to say, I want to see a trans woman or whatever, blah, 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 she's not a real woman. She's not a real woman. So if you have that mindset, do you want to sleep with me?
He's ready.
Do you want to sleep with me? Because I technically am not a real man since I'm a trans man, right? So what would that make me? Oh, but wait, why don't you want to sleep with me?
We're securing zone A.
There's a fly. There's a little fly.
Ladybug.
It's a ladybug? Okay. Lucky seconds, ladybug around you. What's happening?
They're on zone C.
But that's true, right? So, okay, all right, then sleep with me. If you think that trans women are real women.
Do it.
Do it.
Sleep with them.
Do it, please. Please don't.
You said, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm so ready, dude.
I don't know if you know what you're signing up for with that one.
Zone compromised.
Oh, good God.
I saw Michael Knowles' face. He would. Have you seen the clip that he was in? Have you seen that movie he was in?
What? A PORN?
It wasn't like a porn, but it was like a gay acting film where he like had a boyfriend or something. And he was like in bed with him.
Is this before he was online and like conservative? and
Yeah,
stuff?
in his college days. It was when he was in college. Yeah.
I need to see that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay. Michael Knowles what?
The acting ate though. He kind of slayed the acting.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch it.
You should. He's giving Brokeback Mountain. He's giving.
Going for B.
I don't know.
Drifter.
He said he's heard this.
Friendly.
I'm just gonna lie. Maybe a little lie.
Zone compromised. They can run, but hiding might be a problem. Capture zone secured.
Did you know that?
No.
Blair White voted for Joe Biden.
We did it, Joe. We did it.
Show your history. Show your history.
Blair were you? Yeah, literally. Let's see it, girl.
Somebody like start attacking us. No, I didn't vote for Joe Biden.
Here's my voting history. I'm registered. It's like a piece of paper with crayon on it. Trump spelled wrong. Green crayon.
Zone B is vulnerable.
Is it hateful to say that a man can't really secretly be a woman?
I'm saying it's hurtful to say that sleeping, for any man to sleep.
The first question you have to answer is not.
That's not what I'm talking about. What happened on the podcast.
No, I'm referring. I'm picking up on his point. The question is, what is a trans woman? And so, what Chase would say, and what I would say, and what everybody throughout all of human history until 5 minutes ago would say, is that a trans woman is just a man who is pretending to be a woman.
I'm the only one who thinks this is
I love when they say that.
Rogue
They say
Echelon
like
agent
everybody
activated
throughout
sonar.
history. We all know this to be true. Everybody knows that.
Allies on B.
That's not true. That's not true. We say this all the time, but like there have been trans people, gender non-conforming people through history like for centuries. You know what I mean? Centuries. And like even literally, probably more. And even to say that like people nowadays don't all see it, and it's just like, like a small group of people that are trying to go around with it, blah blah. That's not true either. And like a lot of people support LGBT people, especially trans people, and like their right to live as themselves. So to say that nobody recognizes it.
Zone B is vulnerable.
One of my favorite things to say is I love how, you know, me and you are here in flash in person and live, right? And you don't believe in us. You don't believe that we are real or that could possibly exist. But yet you do believe in something that you can't see or hear, religion, etc. Yeah, but you know, you can't see or hear whoever you're praising, but I'm not real.
Right.
I'm standing right in front of you.
You can put all your faith into the world for this man floating in the sky, but you can't put it into like, people that can reach out and touch you.
About to win
You
this,
can't
agent.
like
tell
tell
you
that we're feeling the way that we're feeling.
Yeah, and tell you how, and tell you that we have this, that, and whatever, and that we feel like a man or a woman or whatever.
It's crazy. That's so true. And like not even any shades of religion or anything like that. Like
no,
it's just such a double standard.
It is.
They're on
you can't see God.
Girl, you can see me. You can see us.
You can see me.
I'm right here, girl.
Capture zone secured.
Look at me.
Look at me.
Literally.
Allies on
like
A.
In the words of like
a lot of people are saying it now, but it's historically speaking, yes.
They're on B.
Statistically, 0% of people have thought that a man wearing a dress
That's so incorrect. What about Thailand? What about the femboys in Thailand that have existed for decades and decades and decades and decades?
Take them back.
The femboys in Thailand.
We're securing B.
I love the shout out to the fanboys. We love the little lady boys in Thailand.
The femboys in Thailand, though. The femboys in Thailand.
I've seen them. Girl. They slay. Have you ever seen them? They're so beautiful.
That was hardly by the
on TikTok, yeah. I've seen them on TikTok.
Zone compromised.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, who was your surgeon? Who did that, girl? I love him like trying to be so scientific too. Precisely 0% of people have ever thought that. Oh, really? 0? He's such a fucking dork.
Hey, please, just listen. There's a difference between what you were saying a moment ago, which is like, you know, if you had gone to a counselor and you had gender dysphoria, and them hearing you and just like being like, hey, like I hear that you feel that way. There's a difference between that and a kid going to a teacher and being like, hey, you know, I have this confusion about my gender, and the teacher being like, yeah, well, you can be a girl if you want to, because that's what's happening right now. And to what Deborah was saying a few moments ago, this is a tide that is quickly rising in our society. And 10, 15, 20 years from now, who knows how much access kids will have to these surgeries? Who knows how many millions of kids are going to be mutilating their bodies because of this ideology?
I'm not saying there shouldn't be regulations.
How big of a catastrophe is this going to be for our entire civilization?
Not the end of society. Not the societal collapse.
The transgender tidal wave is coming. It's coming.
We're coming, girl, like a tsunami.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, transgender tidal.
It is the fall of patriarchy. That's what I want. And that's what they're really afraid of. Which would be like the end of their world. Like the end of male domination. Domination of men.
Loadout updated. Friendlies going for zone B. Capture zone contested.
Where are the teachers out there transing the kids?
Yeah.
Your teacher ever trans you?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually. They did.
Wait, no, sorry, I'm asking. Yeah, did they?
No, I thought you were agreeing. My hair just fucking fell.
Oh, yeah. Your hair's mad.
Girl.
Oh.
My hair says, my teacher trained me.
Your hair was like...
Me, girl. Talk about me. My hair is...
Yeah, this is what's happening daily in our schools. This is actually why me and you exist, because we're hoping that the children go up to the teacher and they say, I think I'm a boy. And they're like, yeah, well, you can be a boy, whatever you want to be. Yeah.
And then they hand them our business card, yeah. they hand them our links to our YouTube channels. They said, check it out. Great content, anyways. It's great. I wish, girl. I wish. We need the teacher to train pipeline immediately.
The teacher to transport. Wait, what
Scanning
do you mean?
for hostiles. You know what I mean.
We need
You
the
know what I
teacher to
mean.
pipeline immediately.
And everybody out there, they know what it means.
Okay.
I need a medic.
Oh, it's not picking up the audio.
I just whispered teacher to trans pipeline.
Oh.
Capture zone contested.
Okay, anyways.
Please just let me like stand up for like transgender people.
Nah, we're
right now.
redirecting the conversation. What's up?
I just think it's wrong. Like to like not to segue. I mean,
I've redirected the conversation. Answer the question.
why can I sit here and talk? Can anyone provide first aid?
Because I've
Scanning for
chosen to redirect
hostiles.
the conversation. You can either accept that or you can leave. Your choice.
First of all, shout out to her. Shout out to her. She's an ally. But also, what's this guy's problem? I don't understand why he's so adamant about not standing up for the trans people. He said no. No sympathy for them transies. Stop immediately. Muzzle it, girl. I don't understand. Why is he so mad?
And he's like
I'm
over there
detecting
talking
hostiles
like,
on
no,
zone C.
I segued it because like I'm the male, I'm the alpha male, and I'm running the conversation. It's my podcast. Shut up, guy.
Literally, you can't fucking eat a chip and direct the conversation like that. You gotta pick one or the other, my guy.
He knows he's about to get called out for whatever he said.
I know.
Gathering
Literally, he's
intel.
like, no, I don't have any good points anymore. We're moving on. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Friendly's going for zone B.
We can't. No, I'm gonna look bad if I can't. Huh? Fuck no.
Team capturing zone C. Hostiles hold all capture zones. Start making some noise, agent. Capture zone contested.
And you got to say get out to me, but like.
Peace out. Peace out. Yeah.
I'm gonna get up too, but thank you for having me.
Okay, you can
It's
leave.
nice meeting you.
Friendly's capturing zone A.
Gathering intel.
Bro. Okay, can you just leave? Like. Okay.
Together, so I mean, I guess I have to leave too.
Sweet.
Capture zone secured.
See ya.
Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Drive safe.
She said, I don't even fuck with the transies, but that was my ride, man.
I'm not Ubering. No.
she said, listen, I'm pro not the transies, but I gotta go.
Peace out, man.
He's just so against it, just so mad. And I hate how he's like, he just acts so cool. And you know if somebody's acting cool like that, they're just not. That's it.
He is raging on the inside.
Hostiles on A.
He's racing. He's like, yeah, get up, get out of here. He's like,
so mad.
No, he's eating fruit, whatever he's eating.
I know.
Is it a fruit parfait?
Something like that. And it's actually like, where's the girl's fruit? First of all, he's like, I'm gonna eat my little snack, call you bitches ugly, and then kick you out.
So true. Is it fruit? Yeah,
Allies on B.
He said, this is what alpha males eat grapes with chopsticks.
All zones
I
in
feel like he
enemy
always
hands.
has an in cup on his desk, and I'm not sure what that means. Like, what is that supposed
Friendly
to mean?
securing A.
I have no
Zone
idea.
secured.
Is that an in-and-out cup? Oh yeah, no. He's the only one with the in-and-out cup too. He said,
Zone B
the
is
rest of you get
vulnerable.
water.
Yeah, so you get water. I'm gonna have the pink lemonade from In-N-Out.
He says, you bitches are not 10s. You don't get any pink lemonade.
Just me and my lemonade stick. I'm putting on some dragon fruit lemon chapstick.
Slay. Need to get him some of that. Dirty mouth would be a little better.
Zone A under
Do you know
assault.
what his first name is?
I think it's Brian. For some reason, I'm pretty sure his name's Brian.
It does say. Well, actually, these.
Can
are from
anyone
TikTok
provide first aid?
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Okay, I would say it matches. And you know what, Brian? You dress like shit.
Period.
all he wears is a flannel. I love flannels. I do, but he never matches them. I mean, he did occasionally does. But you know what, Brian? You're just like shit. That's it.
He didn't match it. He got lucky on that one.
You got lucky in that one, but
you got fucking lucky, man. Hey, got it.
I'll start filling out the mission.
You can't be wearing shit like that and talking the way you talk.
No, he also has a 7.
Poor girls.
Put the 7 on his flannel.
Get the 7. He ain't getting lucky. He is not getting lucky. Let's be real.
I can't believe you've done this to my eyes and ears.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching that with me. Do you feel enlightened? Do you have some good advice to take with you on your journey through life?
Yeah, I'm going to tell every woman that she's ugly and also kick her out.
Yes!
And get some in and out.
But none for Shannon. None for her.
None for Shannon. None for Samantha. You could have tap water.
Fair. That is fucking rough, but honestly, better than you would treat me. Okay, I think that was the last clip from the whatever podcast that we had to react to today. Thank you so much for joining me, Sam.
No, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. I love collabing with you whenever we can do it because we get to watch bad stuff.
What's going on, guys? It's Chad back here over on some more XDEFIANT. Sorry I didn't post any multiverses today. I was planning on it just for some variety's sake. I've gotten up way too late, and multiverses, if I start getting my ass whooped, I'm gonna get pissed. XDEFIANT, I know that I'll be good. Or not. This little update just ended up fixing some back-end stuff, a little bit of matchmaking stuff here and there, but generally nothing gameplay related yet. I picked up a little bit of Black Adam yesterday over on Multiverses just because I thought he was actually pretty cool. He's pretty fun, and he actually seems decently strong, or at least, well, stronger than Jason anyway. Although I don't think it's very hard to be better than Jason. He doesn't seem like he even works in this game. He doesn't fit. And then any of the other larger characters that are considered slower, like Iron Giant, for example. Iron Giant's completely disabled because he's completely broken. He has a bunch of infinite loops that people have been abusing and stuff, and the thing is, like, multiple characters actually have infinite loops over on Multiverses. So I guess Iron Giants was just too egregious and too easy and replicatable that like they just had to disable him until he's fixed. A lot of people talk about the slowdown of the game, but personally I think Multiverses before the changes and stuff was actually like kind of mindless. Yeah, it was really fast, looked kind of crazy and stuff, but realistically people weren't actually doing anything like mechanically insane. People were straight up just, they would attack and then just spam a bunch of dodges over and over and over again until they attack again. That was the entire thing. So the majority of matches, obviously at a pro level, there's a little bit more to it. The base level, people just sat there and just spammed over and over and over again until they attack. That's it. This game, it feels like it's a little bit more, you do things with a lot more purpose now. You can't just keep spamming the dodge thing and invulnerability over and over and over again just because you did something stupid. Because before you would sit there, swing, and the recovery frames on things just barely matter. Because the windows were so small, you could just throw some unsafe stuff out there and then just spam your dodges. Going back and looking at the gameplay, you're like, wow, holy shit, the game was way faster, but it just looks like a spam fest because it is. I think the speed now, it has a lot more upsides to it where it's actually calculated and you actually have to think about what you're going to use. With that said, I think that slowdown also ended up creating a lot of those infinite loops because of the way that characters recover a little bit slower and the way that things hit and land on your character and affect your character and stuff now, like a real fighting game where you have to actually think about frame data and stuff. It resulted in being able to loop things. Oh, they all left. They tried their hardest by throwing themselves over onto that objective over and over again as well. But yeah, and also a whole lot of creators that were invited to that Elden Ring DLC preview
I'll
thing.
take 3 objectives on your op sat.
People were not
Assault
allowed
them
to
at your
actually
discretion.
record at those things. As far as my knowledge goes, they were not allowed to actually record. So any and all gameplay and stuff that people are showing, real actual gameplay, there's a lot of it. Don't get me wrong, but it's all pre-picked footage and it's all the same footage. So any extra information that you're getting from people outside of what From Software is comfortable with people seeing, those people would have had to take notes and stuff like that and try to piece things together that way. That's the most that they could have done. So there are people out there that definitely, you know, took a whole bunch of notes, gave a lot more details and stuff on it, like Bati took a whole lot of notes during that time. I think that they all had like about 3 hours or so of gameplay, 3 hours of game time, I should say. And don't worry, I'm not going into spoilers or anything like that, but looking at the gameplay, like, oh, it's exactly how I imagined. I know that a lot of people out there are like, dude, I don't want anything spoiled from me. I'm not gonna watch anything. I'm unsubscribing from all these channels so I don't see anything. All right, man, you do you, but I mean, it's inevitable. So right there at the start on a lot of these From Software games, especially Elden Ring, it was a magical time right at the start of the game's release when there were no guides out there. There was no one showing anything on how to do anything. The entire community was learning together. The same thing is going to happen here with this DLC. Even though some people were able to play it, you know, for 3 hours total or whatever, and they definitely know more details than other people, and they got to experience a bit more. Again, it's still only 3 hours. That time goes very, very quickly whenever you play Elden Ring, especially when you're lost and going around and shit. So I'm not too worried about it. I'll watch any and all breakdown videos, all the gameplay ahead of time. It's still not going to ruin my actual experience with the game itself. Because it's my playthrough, which can be entirely different from other people's stuff. They had gameplay from like all these different new weapons and stuff that we've seen in the trailers. Just a little bit more gameplay, and you get to see like an actual like some boss fights and stuff. It looks amazing in terms of like visuals. It looks great. Beautiful. Lots of different environments. It's Elden Ring, you know what I mean? The general stuff that we're expecting, it's there and it's very real. After seeing the gameplay, I'm only more excited for shit. If you guys want to go and sit there and hold that objective, you got it. I'm not trying to break that shit. They just had a Godzilla -1 over on Netflix as well. They were saying it's like the most pirated movie. Well, I mean, usually I see a lot more movies in full-blown HD pretty quickly on the internet. For whatever reason, you cannot watch Godzilla -1 way longer than other movies. For whatever reason, it took forever for people to get the actual high-quality version of it. And isn't just somebody like recording it in a theater somewhere. So I mean, of course it got pirated. People are coming back to check for an HD version. Now people get to watch it in all of its glory. The movie. I still think Shin Godzilla is still my favorite Godzilla version though, anyway. I just like the whole premise of Shin Godzilla. The fact that he transforms and has these different forms where he's trying to adapt and he's actually insane. Oh no, I like it. I swear it feels like people's flamethrowers always go way further than my flamethrower on XDEFIANT. Their flamethrower has like 30 meters of reach, meanwhile mine has 10. Really weird. Stop crouching, you suck. If I have a full auto, I just spray your dumb ass down. Stop crouching. My BattleNet randomly opened up, which made it stop recording. I really hope that they fix this shadow play thing soon. I'm able to have it full screen and stuff right now while recording this, but if I tab out, it still just doesn't work. So fucking bad. It's so crazy. They literally have like one of the biggest values on the entire market, and their software straight up doesn't work. I don't understand. Billions, trillions of dollars even. People keep talking about this bunny hop nerf like it's gonna stop people from bunny hopping entirely. That's not what it's gonna do. It's just gonna add a penalty. You can still bunny hop the same. It's just gonna add a penalty to it. If you play the beta, you know what the nerf is. It's not gonna be any different. They're not gonna change the actual movement speed of everything or like the way that everything is flowing with momentum and stuff. That would just make the game feel bad. They're just going to add a penalty for doing this thing where you hop around like this. They will still jump around. So if you think that this whole change is gonna come and all of a sudden all of this jumping around and shit is just gone, that's not what's gonna happen. It's part of the game. The penalty is just gonna make it more difficult to stay on target. That's it. Homelander MK1 video now. Yes, sorry, I'm not interested. But I really don't want to play Mortal Kombat right now. I just have to say it. The whole cameo system just made it so cringy. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, you can call it skill issue, whatever, fine, but I'm just not going to play the game. It doesn't really matter. Cameos in Mortal Kombat just, first of all, it scared a lot of the casual players away, and I wouldn't say that I'm not casual in fighting games. I play them, I practice a little bit. I play video games for a living, so sure, I have a whole lot of time, but I never try to attempt to go pro or go to some insane level where I'm really, really good. I've hit blue rank over on Tekken, which is like the new high-ish average. You can compare it to like platinum or something like that. It's like, it's better than average, but nothing really insane. You just have to like practice at least a little bit, have some game knowledge, and you get there for free. The cameos generally are corny as fuck, mostly because of the way that like the base characters are designed around them. There are certain characters in the game that straight up operate completely fine without a cameo helping them, and the cameo is just a cherry on top. Meanwhile, other characters are completely useless without cameos. Say they just remove the cameos out of the game completely, Sub-Zero would be even worse off, and he literally has 2 different cameos that make him fine. Meanwhile, other characters still manage to be top 5 even without cameo. And I hate the fact that cameos are used as this way to like, people are just throwing unsafe shit out there just for the sake of it, doing the math, and then just using a move to cover the unsafe move over and over and over and over again into each other's guard until somebody inevitably gets bored and impatient enough to go and do something that isn't boringly safe. Fuck that shit. Just rinse your hands clean of MK1, guys, and move on. Make another one. Never do this cameo bullshit ever again. Disagree or not, even if I am wrong, anyone that just sat there and abused the same old plus range brainless bullshit over and over and over again. Okay, everyone's flanking. Got it. So we're basically not flanking anymore. We just changed our front line. Very smart. Favorite is when the entire team decides, hey, we're just gonna all flank, not realizing that it's no longer a flank anymore if everybody is doing it.
Revealing enemies!
It's a shame that the rotation speeds are faster than the reaction time. Still got player of the game. Embarrassingly close for the level discrepancies. My shit just straight up stopped recording when the game ended. Okay, yeah, I'm
Guess we all see where this is heading. Time to think about extraction options.
I think I'm so special and better than everyone else because I think I'm smarter. My opinion has to be the correct one, and I'm 100% sure of it. Just picture how narcissistic that is. Right now it's in full swing, but in 5 years, I hope it'll be gone. This side of me is my alter ego, and his name's Nico.
Don't make this a habit, Agent.
They laugh at us. Ha ha! They can't stop me. You said I'm a misogynist, anti-Semitic. You need to talk about me for content. I feed your family.
The thing is, we all know this stuff too, but it's easier to stay ignorant than it is to be a truly good person.
Andrew Tate and his consequences have been a disaster for the human race.
To not appear more uncensored, one of the most infamous men in the world, Andrew Tate's misogynistic tirades have been viewed billions of times online. He's now been effectively banned, though, from the internet.
For about 3 months straight, controversial rhetoric was borderline inescapable as all of social media became overrun by a bald millionaire with a weird accent. If you click this video, you're already well aware of who he is.
I'm gonna have to try and do this video without getting my massive cock all over the camera.
But we're not here to talk about the top G today. What I'm more interested in is exploring the online climate in a post-Tate world. While we may not hear much from the man himself these days, his ideas are more alive than ever. Resonating with millions of angry individuals, it's only natural to still be feeling the effects of the man's presence even months after he was forcibly exiled from every major platform. Despite being harshly criticized and mocked by some, Andrew Tate was and still is worshipped by countless others. His words are resonating with too many people for them to be ignored. Some of the biggest talk shows and internet personalities on the planet echo similar sentiments and poison healthy discourse through the means of bad faith arguments and blatantly false information. It's an epidemic, and it didn't die out with Andrew Tate. He has always been replaceable. Andrew left a gap in the market that was prime for exploitation, and after his inevitable termination, it was only a matter of time before a worthy successor swooped in and took his place. An individual that just so happened to be a YouTube veteran himself. A man once revered by the biggest creators on the site for his impressive commentary and entertaining satirical bites, who has now been reduced to nothing more than a frustrated conspiracy theorist, shouting endlessly into the void on a platform only your racist uncle has heard of. Join me in documenting the insane 10-year roller coaster ride of the most brazen, polarizing man on all of YouTube, Sneeko.
If I disappear, I'm passing the torch to you. Keep spreading the message. While it's still relevant to talk about Andrew Tate, I appreciate you showing this.
Tristan said he passed the torch to me. It's a lot of, bro, we got this.
But first, I want to talk about our now 4-time sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. What more could you want in life than fitting a truly amazing AAA quality game right in your pocket? Explore millions of champion combinations and master countless tactics as you take on raid bosses, dungeon runs, campaign battles, PvP arena matches, and of course, the dreaded Doom Tower. In order to get to the top, you'll need an army of champions. With the bosses being so tough to beat, you'll need to build a strong enough team. The real fun is trying out different strategies and seeing what champion combinations are most effective. And for a limited time, you can sign up for their Trick or Treat promotion with your Raid Player ID, where players can win $1,000 Amazon gift cards and some of the best legendary Halloween champions in the whole game. Just download Raid with my link in the description or scan the QR code on screen.
Welcome back! Yo, chat, can I get a loser in the chat? Can I get some losers in the chat? We off the fucking strike. We got banned on Twitter and we still here. But we got a lot to get into, bro.
I didn't come across Sneako until this past summer, as I was researching my other favorite scam artist. I didn't know who this guy was, but I found plenty of videos of him reacting to Andrew Tate live on stream even before Tate blew up. And honestly, there was something about Sneako's personality that made him hard to just ignore and move on from. I definitely wasn't agreeing with him, but I could still see why people found him entertaining. At that point, he wasn't completely on the Tate bandwagon yet, but as I watched the Tate flame ignite over the next few weeks, I also watched Sneako go from being nuanced and authentic to instead worshiping the man's every last word.
You can love each other. You can be prepared to take a bullet for her. And still, that's what I'm saying.
It's funny because it's true.
From there, Sneako would parrot all of Andrew Tate's worst rhetoric, becoming infamous for making inflammatory, sexist comments of his own.
You cannot provide anything other than pussy. That's all you got. You got a mouth, you got pussy, but that's it.
No woman wants to be in an equal relationship. Women are submissive. They're here to nurture and we're here to provide.
You know where women have the least rights? Saudi Arabia. They're doing pretty well. The more patriarchy, the more society kind of runs how it's supposed to run.
I don't care. Give me more money for my pussy.
Whore.
And that's what turned me and many others away as his true intentions became clear. But Sneako's story starts way before this time, almost an entire decade, in fact, when he first joined the platform on April 9th, 2013. Sneako's YouTube journey began a world apart from where he ended up, which is peddling anti-Semitic conspiracy theories alongside a domestic terrorist and burning every conceivable bridge while doing so.
What do you think about the Jews? They control all the money in the world. Are they behind the scenes on most of these issues?
Things were simpler in 2013. At first, his videos weren't totally unlike what any 14-year-old would be prone to making. Coming home from school, he'd sit down in front of a mic and speak his mind while playing Call of Duty. It wasn't anything earth-shattering, but it was how Sneako got his start.
Making a gameplay commentary video. Wow, what is this? 2014? Jesus Christ.
Sneako Kende Bolinthazy was born on September 8th, 1998 in New York City. Spending a little bit of time in Brooklyn, he and his two siblings were raised in New Haven, Connecticut by two parents who are still together to this day, an achievement he's always held to high regard.
My parents are still together. Almost nobody I know is like that. They've been married for 30 years. My dad has been fully committed to being a dad, and he was like that support that I think a lot of people don't have that really made me successful.
Growing up in a pretty diverse environment, Sneako described his situation as fairly middle class. Having poor and rich friends alike, he attended private school his entire academic career, never setting foot in public school a day in his life. According to him, it took a while to realize how much of an outcast he was.
And it took me a long time to realize that I was an outsider. I didn't fully understand why I didn't fit in until I was like going through puberty and like they think I'm different.
Sneako is of half Filipino, quarter Haitian, quarter white descent, and has frequently described how his identity has shaped his circumstances, attributing his place in school and many scholarships to his racial status.
What kind of scholarships? Were these like grades or?
No, it weren't grades. I think that there were minority scholarships. I could tick off a lot of boxes because I'm very mixed, so it's like the minority quota, I check off like 17 boxes at once.
Were you good at school? Like, did you enjoy it?
I would say it was like up until like 8th grade, I was one of the smarter kids. I cheated on my SAT. I cheated on every standardized test. I cheated on all my homework.
To Sneako, nothing has ever been more important than crafting his own path towards success.
Do you genuinely kind of feel proud that you cheated your way through
I feel proud.
school after grade 8?
I think it's dope. I like finessing. I think that's interesting. I do my own thing. I don't work a job. I just got my own thing going on. It makes me, I guess I feel a sense of pride that like, yo, I didn't f the system. I did what I wanted. I did it my own way.
A mentality that led him to drop out of college and pursue his own unorthodox ways of making money, whether that was professional modeling or putting his free time towards making videos. It's not like YouTube had failed him yet. Sneako got his first AdSense check back when he was still very young, buying a pillow chair and taking great pride in getting himself there on his own.
I remember getting my first YouTube AdSense check when I was like 14, and I bought this pillow that I could put up against my wall, like a pillow that you could lean up on like this. And I remember every day, like coming back from school leaning on this, like, yo, I bought this with YouTube money. I paid for this from Call of Duty videos. I was so proud of that. This one item, I made that from talking to a camera playing Call of Duty. That took so much. I thought that was successful.
With YouTube, Sneako had an outlet to be himself. And although he didn't become a clout juggernaut until years down the road, his passion to keep moving was always there. Just the possibility that he could continue to expand his empire and positively affect those around him was enough to drive him forward on his creative ventures, or in his own words, seek truth through funny.
Holy shit, everyone, it's me, I'm here. What do people think of you? This is what we live for. It isn't how can I make myself better, it's if I go hiking this weekend, how many Instagram likes can I get if I take a selfie next to a tree?
In November 2015, Sneako uploaded what would become his first viral video, How People View You. A 3-minute monologue where he attempts to explain why people perceive us the way they do, cutting back and forth between haircuts to make a point that we as individuals have more power to control what other people think of us than we may care to admit.
Our image is everything, and if you pay attention, you'll see the lengths people go to maintain this. Virtually everything you do is in anticipation of how someone else is gonna react. When I have a buzz cut, I want people to think I'm a big tough guy, you know, big tough guy. When I got the quarter black, half Asian fro going on, I want you to think that maybe I go to museums or something. I don't know though. Should I post this? Maybe people are gonna think I'm a tryhard.
In all fairness, it was a pretty sharp video, if not for just how purely unique it was. Seeing such brutally honest self-awareness from a guy as young as him is what drove Sneako to a couple thousand subs, his first taste of real attention. From that point on, Sneako would graduate from traditional gameplay commentary videos covering issues from feminism to BLM to the 2016 election. Now what you'd expect from your average 16-year-old YouTuber.
People are like, oh, you're not a feminist? Feminism is for equality for both genders, so why isn't it called humanism?
Plus, it helped back then that any ill-informed opinion he had could be easily chalked up to a kid who had yet to experience much of the world. His opinions weren't always great, but they were still forming. He had some growing to do, but that didn't stop plenty of fans or fellow influencers from taking notice of his creative side. Sneako's notable editing style is what got so many people in the door, and openly sharing his personal perspectives was what got them to stay. One of his then fans being
Mr. Beast.
How's it going, man?
Hi, my name's Hugh Montgomery. I'm with the IRS.
Fuck.
Do you have a couple of minutes, sir?
No, I don't.
Who not only named Sneako as one of his favorite YouTubers, but had been there with him since the two were in middle school.
I've been doing YouTube for a long time, so like when I first started doing Call of Duty videos and stuff like that, like we had known each other from comment sections when I was 14, 15.
In a way, Sneako has always had an urge to compare himself to Jimmy. They started at the same place at around the same time, making the exact same COD videos. Mr. Beast was always the first to leave a comment under Sneako's vids, but today he's the one with 100 million subscribers.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a good idea to be comparing yourself to the guy with 800 million subs.
It is because we started at the same point. It's very comparable.
You started
he was
as
my
his
fan.
intern.
No, I started off, I was making Call of Duty commentaries, and he was like first in the comment section.
While he's always shown appreciation for what Jimmy taught him, it's hard to imagine there isn't any jealousy at play, especially when Sneako himself has admitted to wanting to be Mr. Beast.
I didn't want to be the guy in Mr. Beast's videos. I wanted to be Mr. Beast.
In fact, that's one reason an internship Jimmy had given him fell apart in summer 2018, helping out with one video before deciding the title of Mr. Beast's friend wasn't for him. He was fired and made a video exposing Mr. Beast shortly after, one that he deleted in a matter of minutes, but served as the final nail in the coffin for Sneako and Jimmy's friendship, going down two polar opposite paths as Sneako continued building his humble following until finally striking gold.
Do you think marriage is for nerds?
No. Oh, no, I would love to be married. Marriage is definitely for nerds.
I'm gay and unmarried.
Do you think that men and women are created equal?
Yes. And no.
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 I'm gonna have to not answer that.
Street interviews quickly became a pillar of Sneako's main channel. Sneako was already known for covering divisive subjects, but this was the first time he ever brought strangers into the discussion. And as it turned out, people enjoyed hearing what the everyman on the street had to say about whatever issue plagued Sneako's mind that day.
You're more attractive when you have money?
No, not necessarily. I've been dead broke and managed to get it on.
This off's a bit ruckus for the echelon playbook, but I'm sure you'll manage.
A lot of things as a man can do. I mean, if I work out enough in the gym and I build my muscle, I'm sure I can pull up and do stuff that a man can do.
I really like your perspective. I haven't heard someone talk like that all day. Yeah, thank you.
surpassing well
Friendly's
over
capturing
500,000
Zone A.
subscribers before 2020, thanks to a series he dubbed the 1 Minute Podcast. The format was pretty
Friendly's going for
straightforward.
Zone B.
Sneeko set up a booth on the subway and spent 60 seconds interviewing random passerbys on hot button issues, asking questions like, do you trust the government? What do you think is the root of all evil? And are trans people real?
What's up? Welcome back. We're in West 4th Street Station once again, and I'm asking people about the they, them pronouns, about gender, trans, all that stuff. Would you date a trans person?
What?
This is personally where I find Sneeko a little difficult to watch. I don't think all of these topics can be appropriately covered in such a brief interview. Like condensing a conversation on trans issues down to a 60-second interval where you don't really push back against incorrect or bigoted ideas is pretty dismissive and insensitive to the trans experience.
They ain't never bullshit, bro. Because chromosomes, we all got chromosomes, right? For a reason, right? How you just gonna be a day and down? What is that? That's 2 genders at once. How is that possible?
I don't know. They say that.
Who's they?
It isn't really the productive, deep conversation you're pretending it is. Especially when you keep
Friendly's
making
going for
annoying
Zone B.
jokes that fly over people's heads.
I'm from Switzerland. I think it was 1971 that they introduced voting for women. So that was
Last good year.
like equal to cattle, basically. Just cows.
Good old days.
But the fans, on the other hand, enjoyed getting such an up-close and personal look at what the average New Yorker thought about these things. The appeal came from how raw it was. Even when people were speaking nonsense, it still made for good enough entertainment in the eyes of Sneeko's audience, which ballooned to over 700k subscribers during that year. For a while, Sneeko enjoyed the freedom of sharing his mind, speaking with strangers on the street, and letting his fans in on the more personal details of his life. That is until things got weird.
Tyra said, what did she want from the relationship that you couldn't give her? You're gone for like more than 3 weeks, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's time to, you know, I want
3 weeks though. Come on, man.
3 weeks is a long time. 3 weeks is a long time to not see anybody. Like, that's a long time.
In early 2021, Sneeko announced that he and his girlfriend had broken up after he cheated on her while the two were long distance. In the 11-minute
Friendly's
video,
going for Zone
Sneeko
B.
interviews her
Capture
over
zone contested.
FaceTime to discuss the traumatic events he put her through. And in retrospect, it definitely feels like I shouldn't be seeing this.
3 weeks is a long time. 3 weeks is a long time to not see anybody. Like, that's a long time.
Bruh. I give you like at least
Capture Zone A is at risk.
2 months, 3 months even.
2 months?
Sneeko was airing the very personal details of a relationship that probably should have just stayed between the two of them, especially considering how divided the comments were. Many fans thought this was Sneeko crossing a line, further exploiting the pain he instigated. Some writing, he put more effort into the editing of this video than the relationship. Sneeko cheated during a pandemic. That means you had to go way out of your way. And most tellingly, this channel feels like a movie where I hate the main character right now. The truth was that Sneeko's content had been taking a nosedive for quite some time, pushing some of his longtime fans away with titles like these. Whether or not designed out of some kind of ulterior artistic vision, not all of Sneeko's fans were having it, with one line of criticism coming from none other than D'Angelo Wallace. While maybe in the form of a short comment left over on his breakup video, these 4 words from D'Angelo Wallace would resonate with Sneeko in a huge way, as evident by his next upload, forcing myself to watch D'Angelo Wallace, the impetus for a one-sided beef that still looks pretty pathetic to this day.
We're gonna watch this video, Influencer 19. It's an hour and 10 minutes. I only saw like 10 minutes skipping around and I was getting mad. Not only at his braces and the fact that he looks like a TikTok Lil Tecca. My ops are moving crazy. I don't know if you heard of him. His name is D'Angelo Wallace. I'm not even one started this beat. That top comment saying he's Wallace to the streets. I don't know you. You don't know me. And you're judging me, calling me a fraud.
See, Sneeko decided to take the completely mature approach of responding to a single comment with a 20-minute reaction to D'Angelo's then recent video, Influencer 19. If you've seen it, you'll know D'Angelo looks at an ensemble of YouTubers and TikTok stars who broke COVID-19 restrictions and were just generally irresponsible in the wake of the
Loadout
pandemic.
updated.
Even today, it's a pretty sufficient time capsule into how the internet collectively responded to what was going on 2 years ago. Sneeko, though, uses this video as an opportunity to hit back at D'Angelo for the comment he left on his previous video, which to me already makes this exchange seem lopsided. You can't respond to a video that had nothing to do with the reason you're upset and not look insecure and desperate in the process. But that's exactly what ended up happening, as Sneeko failed to address even the most basic points made by D'Angelo, instead opting to make fun of his looks and repeat everything he said in a condescending, mocking tone of voice.
Very clearly outlined Los Angeles guidelines that said
Los Angeles County guidelines? Los Angeles County guidelines. We're in the middle of a pandemic. His voice, his face. Wait, I wouldn't want to punch this guy in the face. There's no part of me that wants to do that.
Making the same joke 6 times within the first 3 minutes.
Doesn't that remind you of the kids in high school that were in student council? They'd be the type to like tell the teacher when you were late for morning meeting. I know you sat with the teachers at lunch. Remember when you had to run the mile back in middle school? I'm not gonna run with my suit sweaty. He raises his hand like, does anyone know the binomial? Yes, I would volunteer. Okay, so in my homework, I wrote about
before launching into some kind of bizarre tangent about different types of gay people.
If your favorite influencers are at huge house parties during the pandemic.
It's funny that he's shouting out just the white version of him. Just another gay nerd with glasses who probably talks the same way and snitches on people. These are the worst type of gay guys. Can we talk about that? There's a lot of like cool ass gay guys. The gay guys who be in the gym with the tank top and the mesh shirt, those guys are chill as fuck. They host great parties. These are the gay people who don't know how to sing. They don't know how to dance. They weren't good enough to get invited to the musical theater performances, so they end up just snitching and just whining for the rest of their life. And they probably get fat by the time they're 28. They don't have good sex. They probably just finger each other. I doubt they use dildos. I doubt they get freaky with it. Put your finger up an ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, be a good gay guy if you're gonna be gay.
I don't even think D'Angelo has ever stated his sexuality. What is this? In the rare instances where he actually does acknowledge what D'Angelo is saying, Sneeko fails to accurately assess and argue against any of his points. Writing D'Angelo off is just jealous for not being invited to any of these parties.
You just sound mad that you weren't invited. You idolize celebrities, you're really involved in the Kardashians' life, and it's more fun to trash them on Twitter than to admit that you're a fan.
But what more can you expect from a guy who blames old people for giving themselves the virus and commands an unemployed mother to, quote, get her money up?
Losing pay, dealing with unemployment, missing government checks, and childcare responsibilities.
That girl whining right here, like, you're broke, wham, 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 you're broke. Get your money up. Why are you complaining about how broke you are and exposing, I can't pay for my kids and I can't pay for my granddaughter? Why are you telling me? Get your money up and stop bitching about it. If your grandparents were at risk, like, why don't they just stay the fuck home? They shouldn't be on the goddamn plane.
Doesn't make me suddenly okay now that they're still here. That deep cut that my dad might not have parents anymore, I still felt it. So regardless of whether or not people are literally dropping dead from COVID-19.
This video is so full of Sneeko flying off the handle and making dog shit rebuttals that to sit here and debunk everything would take way too long. If you want more of a step-by-step breakdown of how bad this response really is, I'd suggest you watch Kunkin Dassner's video linked down below. All you need to know for now, though, is that the cracks were beginning to form in Sneeko's image.
Loadout updated. Capture zone secured. Capture zone contested. Hostiles on the scope in zone B. Team capturing zone C. Your mission is to secure the capture zone.
I think you're a
okay? Now that they're still here, that deep dead from COVID-19.
This video is so full of Sneeko flying off the handle and making dog shit rebuttals that to sit here and debunk everything would take way too long. If you want more of a step-by-step breakdown of how bad this response really is, I'd suggest you watch Kunkin Dassner.
I'm detecting hostiles on zone C. Capture zone
Usually,
contested.
YouTube drama goes like this. One person makes a video on someone, and then that person makes a response video, and then the original person makes a reaction to the response video, and so on.
This story is a little different because it started when one of them left a single YouTube comment, and then the other one made an entire 20-minute response video where he pisses himself with rage. So, at least it's something new. Hello everyone, welcome back to my commentary channel. I'm happy you could join me today. Today we're going to be looking at a conflict between two creators who are on very different sides of commentary
Friendly's going for
YouTube.
Zone B.
And maybe conflict is the wrong word because of how one-sided this is, but you'll see what I mean. As I stated in the intro to this video, this drama,
Start making
if
some
you could
noise,
call it
agent.
that, started with a YouTube comment and ended with a 20-minute long meltdown of a video. But before we get into watching that
capturing Zone
nightmare, I'm gonna have to give you a little bit of backstory. This is D'Angelo Wallace. He is a YouTube creator who is very quickly being hailed as the leading face of documentary-style commentary
Zone
on
secured.
YouTube. He runs two channels that
Team
produce
capturing
in-depth looks
Zone
at
C.
celebrities and trends. D'Angelo himself has a very dry sense of humor. His delivery is very precise and almost surgical, but he presents the information in a very informative and easy to digest way. I've personally been a fan of D'Angelo for a long time now, and I think he's a great role model for anyone who wants to learn
Friendly's moving
how
on
to present
C.
their arguments in a very well-structured format. Sneeko, on the other hand, represents a very informal style of commentary. Usually the format of his videos is delivered with him outside, interviewing strangers, or using hyper-visualized edits to emphasize his points. Because of this informality,
He's going for
Sneeko
B.
is usually abrasive, unfiltered, and unapologetic in what he says. And full disclosure, I do have a bias going into this story, because I'm a fan of D'Angelo Wallace, and I am no longer a fan of Sneeko. Frankly, I used to be subscribed to Sneeko because of his editing. I'm a film student studying editing, and I was pretty impressed with his video style. I usually didn't agree with his opinions, but I convinced myself to look past it. And then there just reached a point in time when I could no longer look past the content of Sneeko's videos, no matter how he was editing them. Inside look of New York breaking curfew, why do Asians ignore racism, and I have a story meeting a fangirl like Chris D'Elia, I don't apologize. And then when I watched these videos, I decided that I was done with Sneeko. I didn't want to participate in his videos anymore. So I did what any reasonable person would do, and I just quietly unsubscribed and went on with my life. In fact, I forgot Sneeko existed until I heard about this story. But apparently while I was gone, Sneeko made a video titled "We Broke Up," sad emoji, where he interviews his ex-girlfriend discussing the end of their relationship, where he cheated on her.
Tyra said, what did she want from the relationship that you couldn't give her? I guess complete loyalty. If you're gone for like more than 3 weeks, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's time to, you know, I want to.
3 weeks though. Come on, man.
3 weeks is a long time. 3 weeks is a long time to not see anybody. Like, that's a long time.
Bruh. I give you like at least like 2 months, 3 months even.
2 months?
Understandably, Sneeko's audience didn't really like this video. The dislikes are significant, and a majority of the comments are condemning Sneeko for his actions. And it's perfectly warranted. If you've ever been cheated on, you know how deep of a betrayal it can be. And for Sneeko to play it off as a joke in this video, it feels extremely disrespectful. One of these many comments condemning Sneeko, however, was D'Angelo Wallace. All he said was, he's for the streets, making light of his cheating. Was this comment uncalled for? Maybe. But it wasn't any different from any of the other comments that video was getting. It was just different because this was from a huge YouTuber. But that little comment is what prompted Sneeko to make a 20-minute response video tearing into D'Angelo's content that comes across as an immature meltdown. And look, before we start, I have to add this little disclaimer before anyone gets the wrong idea about me or the intentions of this video. While I might sound harsh on Sneeko, this video is not meant to make fun of him or to profit off of the beef between these two. That's not what I do on this channel. I want to look into why this response video does not work and how Sneeko's arguments do not present himself in the best light. That's something I could stand to learn from, because this entire channel is me presenting my arguments. I want to know how to do that well, and Sometimes that includes looking at what not to do. Also, before we start this video, I'm obligated to remind you, please like this video and subscribe if you haven't. It helps YouTube know I exist, so I would really appreciate it. Thank you. Without further ado, let's watch Sneako's response video, forcing myself to watch D'Angelo Wallace.
We're gonna watch this video, Influencer 19. It's an hour and 10 minutes. I only saw like 10 minutes. I was skipping around and I was getting mad. You don't have any redeeming qualities. Not only at his braces and the fact that he looks like a TikTok little Tekka.
Okay, it is not a good idea for your opening response to someone to be going after their looks. It doesn't reinforce your points at all and honestly just deflates any other argument you're going to make. It makes sense to roast someone's looks if they roast yours first, because then it's like an equal distribution. But to open up your response video trying to attack someone's looks, it just comes across as weak. And remember, Sneako is pressed over a comment with 4 words. He's this mad.
Not even just the fact that he dresses like Ellen, just his voice, his face. I don't want to fight him. I don't want to hit him. I wouldn't want to punch this guy in the face. Look at his, I love his braces.
Sneako can make fun of D'Angelo's appearance all he wants, but to me, it will be more embarrassing that he's this worked up about it. I can't take anything he's saying seriously because he's acting like he's backed into a corner and just swinging wildly.
I tried to be nice. I considered making this a chill video where I just vaguely talk about the situation. Some influencers are throwing parties and that's bad because we're kind of in the middle of a pandemic, so...
Shut up with your fucking passive aggressive. I'm morally better than you because we're in the middle of a pandemic.
One thing you might notice about Sneako or his content is that he's not really a big fan of the pandemic. And to be fair, neither am I. I've been trapped in this apartment for what feels like fucking forever. But D'Angelo's video here is criticizing the celebrities who endanger others by going out and setting bad examples to their audience. Sneako thinks he's being obsessive over celebrities, but in actuality, he's providing valid criticism to people who are already existing in the spotlight.
I know you sat with the teachers at lunch. It's not a judgment of you, I just know you did because I knew so many kids like you who were, I'm better than you, and I just think of no reason better than to not snitch on you.
Okay, if you're trying to do a roast, do less impressions. If you watch any professional roast, you will see smart, like carefully crafted jokes about someone's character. You don't see impressions, especially not ones this lazy. All Sneako is doing is scrunching up his face and making a funny voice. And it just comes across like a kid trying to do a dance for attention while his parents are busy.
Why am I being so polite to people who can't even find enough compassion within themselves to not endanger the lives of everyone around them?
Secure those capture zones, agent. Friendlies capturing zone A.
That being said, I have a lot of names to name.
The dude, like, when the teacher would ask a question, he would raise his hand like, does anyone know the binomial? Yes, Miss Anderson, I do. I know the answer.
Dude, you have to drop the school
Revealing
jokes.
enemies!
We're 3 minutes into this video, and you've made the same joke 6 times. It wasn't funny the first time. Why did you think this would be the right thing to circle back on?
I surprised my closest inner circle with a trip where we could pretend things were normal.
I don't get why people get mad at what celebrities are posting. Just unfollow them, don't go on their page, close your laptop, turn off your phone.
Okay, what
Friendly's
Sneako
going
is
for
saying
zone
here
B.
has merit. What Sneako is saying to do here is exactly what I did to Sneako when I stopped enjoying his content. I unsubscribed and moved on. But what he's entirely missing is that the public perception of this virus is crucial. There are so many people that don't believe in this virus or don't think wearing a mask does anything, that these celebrities with their influential platforms actually can do a difference depending on how they talk about this. The fact that they can sway public opinion on this is really important. I think there's validity in criticizing how people like the Kardashians keep throwing public parties. It's not celebrity obsession. It's a valid critique on how people in different classes are treating the pandemic.
Daily unemployment, missing government checks, new childcare responsibilities.
That girl whining right here, like, you're broke. Wham, wham, wham. You're broke. Get your money up. Why are you complaining about how broke you are and exposing, I can't pay for my kids and I can't pay for my granddaughter? That sucks. That sucks. Why are you telling me? Let her live her life. Her life is way better than yours, apparently. Get your money up and stop bitching about it.
Revealing enemy. Telling an unemployed mother to
Friendly's
get her
going for
money
Zone
up
B. They can
is
run,
sick
but hiding
shit.
might be a problem.
Just incredibly tone deaf. Adding sad violin music over her tweet is borderline sociopathic,
Zone
though.
secured.
So, way to go above and beyond.
This time, they need no social media. Take all the photos
Hostiles
you
on the
want,
scope in
but
Zone B.
please do not post on social media of any kind.
That's weird. Like, you even know the invitation cards that they had at this party. You just sound mad that you weren't invited. You idolize celebrities. You're really involved in the Kardashians' life. And it's more fun to trash them on Twitter than to admit that you're a fan.
Does he think D'Angelo took that picture himself? It's obviously posted by somebody who attended that party. It was posted online and given out to the public. Why does he think D'Angelo had this in a secret folder? I don't get it. How can you call that fan behavior if I can look up online and see the same thing? Sneako's arguments can be deconstructed with just the slightest amount of pressure. And that's how I can tell if this is an extremely emotional and reactionary response. I know this video would be a lot stronger if he actually took the time to think
Friendly's
about
going
what
for
he was
Zone B.
saying, but clearly that's not what's happening.
There were so many people there. Weeknd, Doja Cat, Justin Bieber, Hailey Bieber, Saweetie, Quavo, Jaden Smith.
Imagine doing that for people that weren't celebrities. Say they were just normal people, they hosted a party and they were posting pics online, and then you gathered all the evidence and tied ropes up, and he didn't wear a mask, and he showed up late, and they didn't even tell people to wear a mask, and they said no social media. But then they post, it's a party, you bum.
Sneako is mad that D'Angelo knows who these people are.
This is a rough off, but you're a pro. You'll bounce
They're
back.
celebrities. Look, non-celebrities are getting together and throwing parties, and it's valid to criticize them too. But Sneako is mad that D'Angelo knows who all of these people are, despite them all being well-known celebrities. I don't know how you can be mad at that. At the very least, this video is teaching me not to have Sneako on my debate team, because he is melting down bad.
Very clearly outlined Los Angeles guidelines that said gatherings of people from 3 or more different households should be.
All right, that should be a red flag immediately if a black guy is saying they didn't even follow Los Angeles County guidelines.
Loadout
You're lost.
updated.
He's lost. No person of color should be reciting Los Angeles County guidelines they weren't even following.
As everyone in the world can tell, I am a white guy. And if I am speaking out of line, I want someone to hold me to that and correct me on this. But why is following the COVID-19 protocols in LA not a black guy thing? I'd understand if Sneako is making a comment on how LA County treats its black population, but this isn't a conversation about race. It's about following the virus protocols, and people of any skin color should be following the COVID-19 protocols. Either I'm entirely missing this point, or
Heads up.
Sneako is.
I'm detecting
It's
our
one or the
sonar
other.
tech in enemy hands.
Just so we're clear, they're all pathetic.
Pathetic.
Hostiles are winning,
And
agent.
they were like this. They hosted a party during a pandemic, and I have braces on.
All he does is mock.
Take the
It's the
zone,
weakest
keep the
argument
zone.
he has, and
You know
he
the
keeps
mission.
using it. Any argument he has that could have carried some weight is immediately crushed by him scrunching up his face and making that voice. You look desperate, man. If you're ever in an argument, don't do this. It
Friendly's
immediately
on
shoots
B.
yourself in the foot, and you've already lost. There's like 10 ads in this video. I just earned Sneako $1. Even that's too much.
Favorite influencers are at huge house parties during the pandemic.
It's funny that he's shouting out just the white version of him. Just another gay nerd with glasses who's probably talks the same way and spins on people.
I knew we'd get here eventually.
He's the worst type of gay guy. Can we talk about that? There's a lot of like cool ass gay guys. The gay guys who be in the gym with the tank top and the mesh shirt, those guys are chill as fuck. They host great parties. They're mad fun. They know all the bitches. Yo, those gay guys are plugged up. They probably know how to dance and stuff like that. These are the gay people who don't know how to sing. They don't know how to dance. They weren't good enough to get invited to the musical theater performances, so they end up just snitching and just whining for the rest of their life. And they probably get fat by the time they're 28. It's
filling out the
unfortunate, really.
mission
I might have
failure
missed
report.
this,
get a head
I
start
don't
on the
think
bookkeeping.
D'Angelo has ever stated his
Rogue Echelon
sexuality.
agent
So
activated
Sneeko
sonar
is just
goggles.
making an assumption here and then trying to roast him for it. Like, do you see how that doesn't work? Also, why does Sneeko think the only cool gay people are muscular and go to the gym? What the hell's that about, buddy? So now Sneeko's leading arguments are mocking and homophobia, which you probably don't need me to tell you are pretty bad legs for your argument to stand on. I haven't heard a single good rebuttal to any of D'Angelo's points here, which just makes this video
This'll be a fun report to
20-minute
write.
waste of time. What am I doing here?
They don't have good sex. They probably just finger each other. I doubt they even use dildos. I doubt they get freaky with it. Gay dudes really be the freakiest motherfuckers out there. The gay guy will go on Grindr and find some dick in 10 minutes. These are the type of gay guys that will just be like, oh my God, I'm not a slut. I don't go on Grindr. Put your finger up an ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, be a good gay guy if you're gonna be gay.
Okay, we've now hit 2 minutes of Sneeko just talking about gay people. Like, it's an obsession.
So Sway House is literally the exact same thing as Live House, but they're actually talented. Just kidding. You didn't think that was going to be true, did you?
I'm better than you. I have talent, and you don't have talent. No, I'm better because they don't have talent. I just made a joke.
I'm just gonna take a shot every time Sneeko resorts to mocking, because being trashed might make this video watchable.
Bryce Hall's 21st birthday party, I think, is one of the biggest gatherings I've mentioned so far in this entire video. Some footage actually looks like a mosh pit.
It actually looks like a mosh pit. Just sitting there observing, mad as hell, hoping you go down. This person you do not want in your circle. Straight up.
Actually take them out financially. I would love that.
Look at him. I would love if you went bankrupt and you died. There's some weird hater energy inside of you, dog.
Oh no, dude. You do not get to throw out that phrase after everything I've just watched. This is all from a comment. One YouTube comment with 4 words. You want weird hater energy? That's what this is. This is the new definition of weird hater energy.
Only we, the non-celebrities, were the ones mad about this.
Okay. Now he's trying way too hard to fit in like you're not an influencer. You have millions of subscribers and you're talking like we, the you're famous. You are an influencer. You're the same as these people in the video that you're complaining about.
Finally, a point that Sneeko and I can agree on. Kinda. Because D'Angelo Wallace has a large subscriber base and a lot of fans willing to listen to what he says, he does have influence. He's an influencer. And the way things are online, that does make him a celebrity. But if anything, this just makes D'Angelo's points even stronger, because he's a celebrity who's using their influence and power for good. He has more of a right to criticize other noteworthy figures for breaking these regulations because he's managing to uphold them, despite holding a similar status. Sneeko, you are like 0 for 50 on all of your arguments. You should have taken a day to plan this out. This is not the right way to respond to anybody.
What? They're doing more harm by going to a party than somebody with a weapon. It's weird that these first world rich ass people are getting so tight about COVID, but you go to like any actual place in the world and people are living their lives and they're not invested. They don't really care what other people are doing. If you're really afraid, you stay inside. But if you want to continue opening your business, if you want to continue doing and living your life, people aren't judging you. The only places this exists are weird-ass rats like this online.
Sneeko is of the belief that protecting yourself and others from COVID is a lifestyle choice and not a health-based decision.
Capture zone contested.
Newsflash, but
Friendly's
nobody wants
going
to
for
wear a
zone B.
mask and stay inside all the time, dude. We're doing it because we don't want our grandparents and immunocompromised friends to have to breathe through an oxygen tank. How is that so hard for people like you to get?
It's impossible to measure the impact they're having on spreading the idea that COVID-19 isn't real among children.
They're not spreading the idea that COVID's not real. They're just not at risk because if you're like under 30 and you get COVID, you're fine.
That's just wrong. Statistically, you have a better chance of survival if you catch COVID and you're under 30. But that doesn't make you fine. You're just saying that to downplay people's reactions. And it's not just weird, but it's stupid. And it's not just stupid, but it's dangerous. And it's not only dangerous, it's also weird.
Yes, Charli D'Amelio's parents and her friend group decided to take a trip to the Bahamas, traveling from the actual COVID capital of the world Los Angeles
This is a
to
rough
the
off,
Bahamas, which
but
is
you're a pro.
relatively
You'll bounce
fine.
back.
So
Hostiles on the
that's a
scope in
lot.
Zone B.
That's a lot. Like, you can't
Capture
even
zone
get on a
contested.
plane. There's not even. You were going with this whole COVID guidelines
Scanning for
before.
hostiles.
She's just getting on a plane, which is perfectly legal, and that's a lot. And people buy it.
If you cut out all the reactions where Sneeko is making that stupid face, this video would be 2 minutes long. Also, getting on a plane is legal. D'Angelo didn't say that. You just have to wear a mask. What he said is traveling from an infected city to a relatively healthy one is irresponsible and dangerous, which is true.
However, that didn't stop anybody from finding out because fans actually bumped into the D'Amelios and their friend group in the Bahamas. People started looking around at the rest of Charlie's group, seeing Charlie photos, and they quickly pieced 2 and 2 together.
It must suck to be that famous at that level. I'm starting to kind of relate to that. Like, I've been walking around and people are taking videos of me like, whoa, is that Sneeko over there? And it's like, you can see the street signs in the video. Like, bro, relax. When you get that famous, everybody starts acting like the police. I know what that's like on a minor scale. People spying on me, people filming me when like they think I'm not looking. It's not a fun feeling. When you can't even feel like you can live your life without being investigated by internet cops.
Friendlies capturing Zone A.
I think we just cracked the code. Sneeko is getting overly defensive with this video because he's relating to the celebrities in his story. He thinks his actions are going to be analyzed just like theirs. He thinks he's going to be used as an example. It's all come together. Now his reaction and his whole video makes sense. I'm just kidding. Of course it doesn't. None of this makes sense.
Also, can paparazzi
Really coming out of the woodwork.
Paparazzi, stop giving attention to these people in a video that's an hour and 10 minutes of you giving attention to these people. You're doing the exact same thing. Stupid.
If I can just pull myself away from this flattering angle for a second, what the paparazzi is doing and what D'Angelo Wallace is doing cannot be compared in any depth. D'Angelo is covering this story to provide a message about celebrities' actions, to condemn what they are doing so that we, as an audience, can engage with that media from a new and informed perspective. The paparazzi are simply trying to profit from covering celebrities. No angles, no commentary. They could get paid simply for posting a blurry picture of a TikTok star. So these two agendas are entirely different.
But outside of that, let's
Friendly's
stop
going for
pretending like
Zone
these
B.
people are cogent enough.
D'Angelo Wallace, you're gonna feel in some type of way, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Those glasses.
Don't compromise. Allies on B.
1v1 boxing match. You say I
Secured.
belong to the streets. Yeah, I belong to the streets. You can walk this out on the streets and look good in the ring, bro.
It's still about the comments. This entire pissing party is just about the one comment. How insecure do you have to be? This shit is just embarrassing.
Don't be compromised.
It's not too late to delete this video because this stuff looks bad on you. Personally, I think response videos should be thoughtful, with a lot of care put into them to accurately reflect what you're trying to say. This is just emotion and adrenaline and insecurity, and it just hurts to watch.
And worried, to say the least. And that is because I'm inside the circle. I know why they're doing it. It's for views.
So why are you making this video? What's your higher moral reasoning for this? If you don't care about views, that's why you put Charlie D'Amelio and James Charles' ass in the thumbnail? Because you don't care about views?
Oh, and here comes the views. It's a classic one. I don't think D'Angelo made a video on COVID-19, a topic that YouTube is demonetizing videos for profit and fame. I think he did it as an informative and educational deep dive into the topic. You know how I know that? Because that's what all of his videos do.
I love the barrel videos to watch. Like, nobody thinks they're actually talented, funny, or interesting. Sometimes people just...
Me, I think that they're talented, funny, and milk boys are extremely talented. They're extremely funny. Jake Paul, talented as fuck.
I actually take back what I said earlier. This is how you immediately deflate your argument. By saying Jake Paul is talented? I don't want this video to become about Jake Paul, but talent? If you want to defend Sneeko in the comment section of this video, be my guest. Just know that you are defending someone who, on the record, just said that Jake Paul is talented. That's on your side.
After he was caught on the yacht party, passing around this hookah, in other words, like, passing around the corona.
You're literally doing FBI work right now. This dude was probably in the fucking bushes over here, right?
Buddy, I wish this could be considered investigative journalism. But no, this information was taken by someone and then released to the public. Obviously. How is this considered a real argument? I could find this image by Googling Jake Paul yacht. It's not hard.
I started making this video in November, but halfway into it, I was actually informed
Anything the hostiles
that
do
both
now
of
is
my
likely
grandparents
too little,
caught
too late.
COVID-19. Every single point about somebody choosing
securing Zone A.
over the life of my grandparents, basically, it like cut through me.
Did your grandparents ever think about not hanging out with
Capture zone
TikTokers? If your
secured.
grandparents were at risk, like, why don't you just stay the fuck home? You know what I mean?
We have now reached the point where I find Sneako's comments
We're losing Zone A.
irritating. This is no longer a joke about difference of opinion. This is now about human decency,
Zone secured.
which Sneako fucking lacks.
Yeah, it's all sad. People are dying, and it's not fun.
It's almost
Not
like
fun
you've
when
done
people
this
die.
before.
It's not like I have a no regard for human life because I got on a plane. If your grandparents are afraid of dying, they shouldn't be on the goddamn plane.
D'Angelo made this video because it hits close to home. His grandparents caught this virus, so he knows what it looks like up close. For Sneako to try to take that and turn it into a punchline is inhuman. It's not funny. You can't pass that off as a joke. It's just cruel and desperate and sad.
I don't know if people realize that that's traumatic in and of itself. It doesn't make me suddenly okay now that they're still here.
Sneako, dude, go fuck yourself, wholeheartedly. Adding sad violin music over someone talking about almost losing a family member is fucking deranged. That's not dark humor. That's not you being edgy. It's just you publicly being a piece of shit.
Regardless of whether or not people are literally dropping dead from COVID-19, it is still just ravaging everyone's life. If you can't bring yourself to find enough empathy, millions of people who are indirectly affected by this, in addition to...
Sneako was so busy looking at his reflection in the camera that he absolutely missed the point of the video that was addressing people like him. This is about empathy. It's about caring for human life. And it's about holding those who are taking their platforms for granted responsible for the messages that they're spreading.
You need to get off the internet, get off Twitter hashtags, get out of the Taylor Swift is over party, get off that. Let's get in the ring, take out your braces, and also make better videos. I think you're capable of making better videos. I think you're capable of using this investigative police work to something that should matter. Weave. Yeah. And that's a lot. Go off.
Sneako, you suck, dude. You gotta start spending time with better people. But this video is not about making fun of Sneako or attacking Sneako. It's about how to conduct yourself when responding in an argument. So, let's go over everything that Sneako did wrong. So I can safely say that this entire thing was doomed from the beginning. D'Angelo made a comment on Sneako's character, so Sneako made a response video judging D'Angelo's content. Just respond to the comment with another comment, dude. Like, there's no need to amplify this whole thing by making a video about it. Secondly, Sneako's entire video was him using elementary school level responses. Mocking, homophobia, challenging him to fight.
On your
It's
OPSAT.
playground
Assault
shit.
them at your
None of
discretion.
his responses seemed well thought out or anything. It was just insecure whining the whole time. So if you're going to respond to someone,
Secure those capture
address
zones,
their
agent.
points while standing up for yourself and your own arguments.
Team capturing
There's no
Zone
need to get
C.
emotional or try to
Friendly's
get a rise
going
out of
for Zone
someone
B.
by stooping to immature reactions. You know what the funniest part of this whole situation
Capture
is?
zone secured.
D'Angelo never responded. No comment, no response video. There's no proof that he even watched this video at all. And that's almost the perfect
Hostiles on the
response to
scope
this
in
video,
Zone B.
because now
Capture
D'Angelo
zone
doesn't have to
contested.
ever acknowledge Sneako, which just leaves this tantrum of a video an example of Sneako screaming into the void. I'd like to wrap up this video by saying that I think we all know that how Sneako handled himself in this response video is not it. How he carried himself in this video was
Friendly's
wrong.
capturing Zone
We
A.
all know that his method of responding here doesn't make him look good. I don't think you need me to tell you that. Even Sneako's comment section believes me on this one. That's the
All
only good
zones
part
in
of this
friendly
video,
hands.
is reading people's responses.
Capture
So
Zone
whenever
A is
you're
at
next
risk.
in a
Was that
situation
revenge?
where you need to respond to someone or defend yourself in an argument, just take a moment and think to yourself, don't be like Sneeko. And then you'll probably be fine. Thank you guys so much for watching this video to the very end. I know this was a bit of a long one, so watching it to the very end means a lot to me. I will leave some more videos on screen.
I think I'm so special and better than ever.
For now, though, is that the cracks were beginning to form in
Capture
Sneeko's
zone
image.
contested. D'Angelo, I think you're a jealous, hating rat. Let's get in the ring. Yeah, you wanna box me, bro? Let's do a 1v1 boxing match. You say I belong to the streets? Yeah, I belong to the streets. We can rock this out on the streets or we can do it in the ring, bro. Let's box.
Here was this insecure man-child lashing out against another YouTuber who committed the cardinal sin of leaving a single comment on the video. The most ironic part was that D'Angelo never even responded, leaving Sneeko to look like the biggest idiot on the planet when his annoying attacks were met with radio silence. But at least we know he learned nothing about this dispute, judging how he had this to say a year after D'Angelo's hiatus.
My anxiety peaked. There's no special way for me to put this.
My anxiety.
Friendly
I
capturing
wasn't
zone
able
A.
to do my job because my
I'm detecting hostiles on zone C.
I should say I've deliberately not gone into detail about my mental health problems.
My mental health.
The truth is, I have really severe anxiety, depression.
Oh, yeah?
And it often leads to suicidal ideation.
Oh no. Yeah. Maybe stop thinking about that.
Hostiles on the scope in zone B.
Comparatively, he's looking for attention, right? I mean, it is what it is.
I'm sorry to say this weird, one-sided feud wasn't an outlier in Sneeko's pattern of behavior. In fact, it was only the first of many dominoes to fall over the course of the next year, with things really heating up in 2022.
I'm telling you, you know everything they fucking believe, bro. This is my private square.
Capture zone contested.
That's remarkable.
Zone compromised. Zone secured. We hold all capture zones. Good work, agents. Capture zone A is at risk. I'm detecting hostiles on zone C.
Yeah, Sneeko's live streaming career was a trip.
What is Brett Cooper's type?
Quizzes, because that's basically what I do at home on my
About to
couch
lose B.
with my dogs.
Starting around the beginning of the year, Sneeko's content went from
I'm detecting
art-house-style
our sonar
vlogs
tech
and
in enemy
interviews on the
hands.
New York subway to holding himself up in his apartment and screaming until his lungs collapsed.
Zone
Of course,
C
the
compromised.
timing was extremely convenient, too. Having just gotten out of another relationship, Sneeko had
Friendly,
plenty
securing
of
A.
time on his hands to gather videos worthy of his on-stream reaction. Coinciding around the rise of Andrew Tate, it didn't take long for Sneeko to develop a liking to the top G. Seeing a bit of himself in Tate, Sneeko clung onto nearly every syllable that spilled out of this man's mouth, reacting to his most viral moments over on his second channel, Sneeko, which would serve as the home of his VODs and stream highlights. His name gaining over 1 billion views on TikTok, Sneeko quickly realized how outrage and controversy made for the most viral, profitable moments, something he would use to his advantage as his content grew more aggressive.
Men objectify women. That's the point of going out and women living a lie. We go out so that women can look like objects and then we give them attention. That's what it is. And you're like, but women are queens. It should be looked at for their personality. No, you need to be a woman needs to be an object of beauty, you fucking idiot. This is evolution. This is basic biology. Your liberal bullshit is not going to forward the human race. It's going to make men into pussies and it's going to make women stronger.
Instead of making the original creative content people loved over on his main channel, Sneeko started reacting to videos made by other YouTubers, some of which criticizing Andrew Tate as more harmless left-wing creators served as particularly easy targets for Sneeko and his rabid, increasingly right-wing fan base. Left-leaning personalities like Noah Samson, Anna Marie Forcino, and even Curtis Connor were all the polar opposites of Sneeko, who saw these individuals as fresh content and would tear into them to an unnecessary extent.
Just look at her. This dude is 28 years old. This is what they want you to become.
Oh, Free Willy.
Like she's overweight.
Capture
she's
zone
a white
secured.
girl and she's Gen Z. I'm not telling you to judge anyone by their appearance, but like, you know what she thinks.
You got a mullet and a mustache, and still, like, my 8% female audience is still saying he's fine, but he's not funny. This is a fucking nose ring. You got the same Sword Boy goggles on and a trucker mullet and this weird stash. That's what makes you fine. You look goofy. Every day that a Brooklyn looks like this.
Zone contested.
He doesn't care, bro. Nobody wants you. Look at your fat head. Look how fat your head is. That headphone's indented.
But Chad, we have to be better than them. I'm living good because I show love. I put love out there, and I really, honestly, I focus too much energy on the haters. Because the amount of love in here is the reason any of this is possible.
As we saw with the D'Angelo situation, Sneeko has never been the best at forming arguments. Why craft out a coherent, intelligent response to what someone said when you can just call them boring or say their video is too long? Both pretty ironic defenses coming from this guy.
These people are just genuine bots. Bots. Anyone who's in a mall is a bot. You're a bot. Bots. You're a bot. Bots. I became a bot.
Sneeko had developed a tendency to take personal jabs at whoever landed in his crosshairs, going after the physical appearances of virtually everyone he covered, a strategy that would become Sneeko's forte as he continued uploading videos like why 2s think they're 10s and why ugly girls think they're beautiful.
And look at those lashes, bro. Does that not look like something?
This is why we need to body shame more. Look, bro. She thinks she's valuable, and you're a 3. You're a fucking 3. She's the fat one.
It's clear he had nothing else to offer besides making unfunny middle school jokes and unnecessarily punching down on oppressed groups.
Who's doing these like unprovoked violent attacks on Asians? What race? Have you been paying attention? Have you looked at the statistics? Have you seen? I've been looking at all these videos since it happened. Like, and I've seen it's been.
You think it's black people?
It's only black people. Uncomfortable truth. Black people are more violent than white people.
But it's not like he wasn't incentivized to do so. As we saw with Tate, this kind of reactionary content sells, especially a few months ago when the Tate brothers were seen as rebels against the status quo that had become too woke.
All the wokeness that's been infecting in these movies. Can't you tell, like all the trans movies, they're trying to put an agenda in everything we watch. Can't you feel it?
Sneeko was expressing a frustration felt by millions. And although he wasn't